Grand Prix winner PJ Barch returns. And this time, welterweight champion Mateusz Szczecinski is waiting. Along with the best 170-pound grapplers in the world. Also featuring Superfight, Sarah Galvao versus Zara Di Stefano for the bantamweight title. The Polaris 38 Grand Prix live on FloGrappling.
Hello, welcome to Polaris 38, live from Bath, UK. This is the prelims, live and free on YouTube. Josh Palmer, Tom Halpin and Tom Barlow on the call for you today. Gents, back in the UK for this one, back in Bath. Looking forward to a great night of action. We've got a fantastic main card coming up later.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great grapplers in there, and I think some really exciting matches that they've put together, particularly even in the first round. Some guys that we might thought come up in the later stages. So it's going to be really cool to actually get to see some of the fights that we want to see.
Yeah, but before we get to all that action, we have got some great preliminary bouts, as always, for you to enjoy. Here's what we're going to see coming up. Some good up-and-comers, some people we've seen a few times before. Prelims are always a lot of fun here on Polaris, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of people trying to make their name, trying to have some breakout performances, and we've seen throughout the last shows some really exciting submissions on the prelims, and some people there that could hold their own on some of the main cards as well. So I'm looking to see, are there any breakout stars today?
Well, that's always the thing, isn't it? You know, most of the people we see getting a chance on the main card is because they've come here, they've done it on the prelims, they've put up a good performance, and tonight they also get the benefit of fighting for £1,000 from our sponsors, Warrior, for the Warrior of the Night on the preliminary card. So the main card later, we're going to find out who wins that bonus. But let's go ahead and get these matches started. For the first time tonight, this is your MC, Mr. Michael Vale.
Each preliminary match features 2 5-minute rounds with a 1-minute break in between. Open scoring between rounds keeps fighters and fans engaged, adding to the intensity. If there's no winner after 2 rounds, a 3-minute overtime will decide the fight. The emphasis is on continuous action. Stalling will be penalized. Constant action is the name of the game as athletes push their limits in a battle for victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Bath University Sports Village here in the United Kingdom, where we present to you Polaris 38. So now let's get the action started and welcome our first fighter out of the blue corner, Danilo Rodriguez.
So 2 young guys here in our opening preliminary bout. First up, 17-year-old Danilo Rodriguez, originally from Rio de Janeiro, but he makes his home now in Swindon. Been training for over 10 years at 17 years old already. It gets exhausting hearing that quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something that we keep seeing more and more as these young kids who started, you know, when Jiu-Jitsu really got popular in the UK, you start to become into the adults. We've actually got somebody later on the card, actually Bendel, she's like 26 now, and she's been.
And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Reese Richardson.
His opponent from Wales, 18-year-old Reese Richardson. Currently a blue belt, been training for 8 years. These guys have fought a couple of times before.
Let's get the action started. Our first bout is in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 81.2 kilos. Representing Gracie Swindon from Brazil. Introducing Danilo Rodriguez. And also welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 81.5 kilos. Representing Perry Grappling Academy from Wales, Rhys Richardson.
So just 2 rounds in our preliminary bouts. There's a third if they need them. And as always, it's open scoring here at Polaris. So our 3 judges, Matt side, are going to be letting both the competitors and the audience know who's ahead at the end of each round. It's always valuable information to change the game plan.
Rhys coming out looking quite confident in the wrestling. You know, he's moving around, head tapping, level changing very, very well.
Both guys training a fair bit of time for people that are that young. I'm curious to see what type of game they can have or who can impose their game on the other.
Oh, big strip to the 2-on-1 there, but not able to hold on to it. Still very cagey from both of them here. Rodriguez just biding his time.
Nice knee tap.
Great takedown from Danilo. Good patience as well. First match of the night sometimes can be difficult in terms of nerves, but he seems to be very calm.
Yeah, it's kind of an old school setup, right? Like hook the leg, pick up the single. None of that fancy new school wrestling.
Yeah. Now settled here in close guard.
Looks like Rhys is trying a wrist lock on the inside there.
Danilo doing a great job controlling the pace, which is something I do like to see from a lot of competitors. If you can control the pace that you like and that you're comfortable at, it's always going to be easier to attack and defend from there.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the keys when you get good at it, or better in better levels, right, is controlling the pace, pulling people into the speed that you want to work at. Because everybody gets very comfortable working at a certain pace, and if you can go higher or lower than that, it can really take them out of their game.
It's a good little scramble there, but they end up back on the feet.
Rhys is doing a lot of feinting, but he's not actually entering into any of those techniques.
Yeah,
it's kind of like he's waiting a little bit too much.
And it's also just that it just means the feints lack efficacy, right? Rodriguez knows he's not gonna shoot. Tries a little ankle pick.
Yeah, I mean, all of this movement is good. Like it keeps guessing, but if there's nothing ever behind it, it doesn't really do anything after a while. We saw Danilo just reach for a moment, looking like he was going for that drag again. There it is.
About the halfway point of the first round here. And it's Rodriguez probably in control from the takedown.
Needs to be careful of the guillotine now.
He must be looking to counter from the standing. There is ways, though, that you can force your opponent into doing a shot or force your opponent into attacking so you can counter.
Yeah, I mean, one of the easiest ways is just pick your hands up higher, right? If they're not defending the legs, like, they gives you access to the legs. But neither one's really doing that necessarily, so you're going to be more reluctant to shoot.
They're both playing the counter game at the moment, really.
I'm personally a big fan of letting somebody get like a high collar tie and letting them pull me forward so I can shoot for doubles and stuff like that.
Quick warning from the referee there that they need a little bit more urgency.
Yeah, I mean, that matters on the scorecards for the judges as well.
Failed Imanari roll, and Rodriguez looks to capitalize, but that's given Richardson a bite on the leg here.
Hey, it looks like he's got the legs locked as well. Danilo just crushing down on that crossface.
Yeah, Rhys looks confident from those K-guard type positions, looking to entangle the legs. We might even see him try and go reverse close guard here.
Yeah, Danilo sprawled through. Reese had a triangle on those legs for a moment. Danilo just cross-faced hard and then sprawled.
Now his hips are free. We can start to see a bit more entries. Straight to the K-guard again.
Forcing some scrambling from Rodriguez, but not getting deep on anything as of yet. Final 30 seconds.
Nice urgent defense from Danilo there. You can see he just wants no business dealing with those leg entanglements and just pulling out of it straight away.
Yeah, stop them really early in the sequence.
He does seem to be pushing the pace a little bit more as well, which in like this round are kind of close, I would say. It can make a big difference. You know, he's the one who's very much entering into those shots.
Yeah, so I think on balance that the judges will be leaning towards Rodriguez just for the cleaner executions. Oh, good tie at the end, but perhaps too little, too late. We'll see which way the judge is going to go as the first 5 minutes ends.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier in the green room, and how just being in a leg locking position doesn't necessarily mean you to get the advantage, because it's really just a position until you start exposing the heel. So even though Reese did get into that kind of inside Sangaku position, he didn't really ever get anywhere from it, you know.
Yeah. And Danilo's the one who's putting him on his back more consistently. He's the one controlling where the fight takes place.
Yeah.
His coaches at Parry Grappling Academy trying to give him some advice. What do you think he needs
Winner
to do
of round number
differently going
one,
into the second
Danilo
round?
Rodriguez.
As we do hear the announcement that Rodriguez takes the first period.
I think he just has to be more active. Like he seemed to have some good connections from his leg locking game, but he's not really doing anything to get there.
Just needs to pull the trigger, I think.
Yeah.
And Reese does have a nice low wrestling stance. He's a bit shorter than Danilo. He should be able to get in on the shots if he can just pull the trigger in this round.
Yeah, it's interesting. He seems to be trying to use the throw bite to the 2-on-1, but then he's very low down, so I don't know why he's not shooting in on towards the legs. You know, it's kind of almost like he's in the position to do one.
Oh, that was a good shot. Managed to cut the angle, but easily stripped on the single.
Danilo's calmness is putting him off slightly, I think.
Yeah, he is incredibly calm in all the exchanges, isn't he?
Yeah, Danilo did a great job of leading him into that Uchimata as well. Saw him just kind of tracking forwards a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think that a counter is coming when the other person is waiting for you to do something.
He's also doing a really nice job of any time that he does get arm dragged as well. He's reaching into that single and picking up the single leg and stuffing it.
Still a little cagey on the feet from both of them. Tries the arm drag to the trip and can't quite run over on the knee tap as well.
Yeah, he's a little more insistent on it though, which was nice. He didn't just back out straight away.
Oh, first good bite on the neck here for Richardson, but posturing out Rodriguez.
These short rounds as well, there's not as much of a concern about getting tired compared to a 10-minute round, for example.
There certainly shouldn't be.
Yeah. Like, I can understand more in a longer 10-minute match, slow the pace down, try and feel out your opponent. But in these short rounds where you can easily lose a round by 1 or 2 moments going like against you. So I'm curious they don't push the pace a little bit more.
And a guard jump from Rodriguez here. First time we've seen that.
Yeah, Reese has to be careful. He's kind of hovering over the top of Danilo. He's done a better job of dropping down to that knee now to get his posture back.
But we know how tricky it is to break close guard open in no-gi, and this is going to suck more time off the clock with Rodriguez already a round up.
He does need to win this round, though, because if he doesn't win the round, then they're going to the overtime.
Yeah, you would expect at 17 and 18 years old, there should be an all-out sprint for the 2 periods here.
Reese, again, just a bit overcautious with some of the grips Danilo's doing. He's over-respecting a lot of the grips instead of just standing up, imposing his game and getting to work.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's trying to break out of this close guard. Like kind of the old-school break, but it's not super effective.
No,
and actually kind of makes it easier for Danilo as well.
I think standing up really is the way to go.
Yeah.
I remember Marcelo Garcia always talking about back in the day, he would rather just stand up instantly, and if he gets swept to mount, he gets swept to mount, but he doesn't want to spend more than 2 seconds in the closed guard ever.
I mean, it's the way, right? Like, you stand up, you know they're going to probably try and enter into your legs, you high step out, and then you're back to like a neutral position.
And here we are now. Can Reese take advantage of this?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that Danilo needs to do something, though, as well. He's not done a lot in this match. He jumped guard, so brought it to the ground, but he's not done much else.
Yeah, he looked like he was originally trying to hit Peist up for a, nice little glide over there. Forces the scramble, and we're going to wrestle up Rodriguez.
Yeah, I can't stick to it, though. Danilo jumping again. He should immediately start to attack, use this waiter position. Yeah, there you go. Push over the knee. I feel like sometimes you can get into close guard and you just feel safe and you don't want to open up the position too much.
Yeah, instead of getting a grip you like and then putting that to use straight away.
I mean, Reese did a good job of gliding over the top, as Josh said, and getting in pretty deep on the pass, in all honesty, so it might be a little bit more tentative.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be a very close round on the scorecards, and you do, as we get towards the last 30 seconds, feel like Richardson is initiating more of the work.
Yeah, he seems to be the more active of the two.
Even on the bottom, he was putting those K-guard attacks together and threatening something at least.
Big angle cut here from Rodriguez.
This is more like it from Danilo.
He needs just a really solid attack here, and I think he can steal the round. But he needs to be very aggressive with it if he's going to do it. He looked momentarily trying for kind of a sweep here.
Well, time's going to expire with some attempted off balances from the bottom. It's going to be a close one. Then we may, for the first time in our first match tonight, be going to an overtime period. Let's take a look at some of the moments from that round.
I mean, that was the initial kind of shot from Danilo. He was really trying to push through on that, but just couldn't quite get the takedown. And then he decided to start playing guard, which I actually quite liked his attack.
No gi close guard can be a tricky one. It's more of a staging position compared to the gi, where there's a lot more options then.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner. In the blue corner, Danilo Rodriguez.
Well, it was 2 rounds to Rodriguez in the end. Definitely a much closer second round, though, guys.
Yeah, very much so. I think it was using the close guard, putting Reese into the position that he wanted to be in, that kind of clinched it for him.
That was kind of the theme that got him the win, I think, was just controlling where the fight was taking place, whether it's on top with the takedowns or on bottom by jumping to the close guard.
And I think Reese just waited a little bit too long in a lot of the different moments of the matches.
Very impressed with how calm he was throughout, though. Really staying composed for the full duration of that match. Congratulations to Danilo Rodriguez. First match in the books. Quick ad break. Join us again in just a couple of moments.
Grand Prix winner PJ Barch returns. And this time, welterweight champion Mateusz Szczecinski is waiting. along with the best 170-pound grapplers in the world. Also featuring super fight, Sarah Galvao versus Zara DiStefano for the bantamweight title. The Polaris 38 Grand Prix live on FloGrappling.
Let's welcome, fighting out of the blue corner, Yalchin Suku.
So first the mat in this second prelim, Yalcin Sulu. He was born in Ireland, but lived in Istanbul, has Turkish heritage, and then moved to the UK when he was a kid. Full-time BJJ coach at Hodger Gracie Bristol. Has been on Polaris once before, picked up a submission win. So back for round number 2.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of the red corner, Thomas Clifford.
Oh, 11 years younger is his opponent tonight, Thomas Clifford, representing London Grapple and Carlson Gracie Kent. Lots of good purple belt medals, things like the London Open, the Madrid Open, but has had one win here on Polaris before, back at Polaris 33, picked up a decision there.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 79.5 kilos. Representing Roger Gracie Bristol from Turkey, let's welcome Yalchin Suku. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall, official weight 78.9 kilos. Representing London Grapple and Carlson Gracie Kent. From the United Kingdom, Thomas Clifford.
Oh, guys, I'm always going to, it's brown belt versus purple belt. I'm always going to give props to a higher belt taking a match with a lower belt, especially one 11 years younger.
Definitely, and he's the hometown hero as well, being training in Bristol, so will that add some pressure onto him? We'll see early on.
Pulls into a leg entry here, and he's on it quickly.
Tom defending nice and calmly. Needs to deal with this urgently, though, and put some weight on that foot. Here we go. Needs to get that weight back on the foot that's being attacked. Really intelligent defense from Tom. You can see he's always looking to roll through and then bring his weight up onto that foot.
Oh, belly down, now through again.
He's also super calm. Like, his face hasn't changed at all.
Very calm. That puts off the person that's attacking as well. You don't want to expend too much energy when it seems like it's not working.
And there's definitely someone who knows where he needs to be in defense, right, in this position.
We saw Tom before.
Oh, I thought that was happening for a second. This is looking tighter. Turning. It's a nice use of the toe hold that allowed him to get a bit more control over that leg.
And just to mix up attacks as well. People don't deal with toe holds a lot these days, so it can come on very quick.
Going to this kind of niche old half guard here.
Tom did a great job there, just not letting himself get pinned. His hip never got stuck down in the mat.
Yeah. Nice little attempt at a pass as well. Just couldn't quite stabilize the position.
There's one of those whole sequences where if there had been a quicker pass here or a deeper attempt at a pass, it really would have swung the momentum, and it perhaps could, because he, it was a good bite from Yalcin for an extended period, and he's got to be thinking, oh, blimey, that was a good shot that's not gone my way.
Definitely, and if there's a time for Tom to attack, it's now. Don't stop attacking, because that's not just tiring for Yalcin, but it's also a little bit demoralizing, putting a lot of effort and energy into a couple of attacks there.
Yeah, Yalcin seems quite a little bit frantic in his movements on bottom. Like he's expending quite a lot of energy to prevent these passes.
Yeah,
and really Tom from on top isn't putting as much effort into what he's doing.
In Tom's last match on Polaris, it was him and his opponent were dressed almost identically. And they were just rolling non-stop, twisting, turning, berimbolos, top to bottom. It was hard to make out who was who. So we know that Tom has that style where he can keep the pace nice and high for the whole match.
Well, forcing a lot of reaction on the bottom here from Suhu.
Very nice leg work that he's using to get around this guard. Yeah, I see him taking a big, deep breath in as well as he stood up.
I mean, he kind of did all the right things on top there, right? He kept moving, he kept forcing the guard retention, he was moving laterally all the time, just forcing a lot of energy expenditure.
It's nice to see those kind of game plan battles take place. Yalcin obviously wants to play seated guard, get into the X guard, attack the legs. Tom wants to keep him on his back, where it's harder for him to get into that shin-on-shin, seated guard type entanglements, and then start to chain passes from there side to side.
Looks like, I thought he was setting up a flying triangle, and he's gone straight to the arm instead.
Yeah, got a great angle on that guard jump.
Yeah, and he's got a good position.
Needs to get deeper with that arm, needs to go elbow deep through here to control the arm.
Yeah, Yalcin's pushed back down and towards it, which is not necessarily the best thing for him. Tom's trying to spin out underneath now. It's a good position for him, but like you said, didn't have that elbow deep grip.
But it was, as far as, again, we're going to talk about judging a lot tonight, and it was a very good attack that forced considerable defense.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you think that would be a deeper attack than any of the leg locking attacks that we saw earlier from Yalcin?
I would say almost on par, probably a little bit less though at the same time.
I think the toe hold that we saw from Yalcin might have been the closest thing, and then that would be second closest.
Sometimes you can tell by the response the opponent gives, and I definitely think the toe hold seemed like it got a stronger response early on in the match.
He's setting it up again, like he's using that overwrap and then pinning the hand to the chest to jump up. You see him do it there.
Here we go. That first attempt was very good, just didn't get elbow deep. It seems like a small difference, but it really attaches their arm to your body then. Instead of pulling with only your arms, you're pulling with your whole body.
Nice little inversion underneath from Tom, though. And now you can use this to come up on top. And immediately around to the opposite side to pass.
Yeah, so good sweep, straight into the pass attempt. 15 seconds left here. If he completes a pass, that could give him the round.
Yeah, I mean, he's there now. Like, he did a great job. You just saw Yalcin just slow down that little bit from the first time he was on the ground.
Retaining guard from that position gets very tiring because your abs are constantly pulling your legs to your chest as you're trying to bench the person away with your arms.
Yeah, really interesting. I'm not sure which way they're going to go for that one. That was a fun little round.
Yeah, both guys having their moments. Let's take a look back at some of the replays from this first round, and this was the early leg entanglement, which was right at the start of the match.
Did a nice job chaining some attacks together here, which is always a sign of a good leg locker. You're not totally headhunting one type of joint lock, you're chaining them all together to try and get the submission.
And this was the guard pull into the armbar, getting very, very deep. Not able to finish though, so both guys, it's going to be a tough one.
The winner of round number one, Thomas Clifford.
Oh, and the judges do go to Clifford. Clearly that guard pass at the end on top of that armbar attempt, and I think just continually pushing the pace more throughout.
I think so. He dominated more of the exchanges, I would say, compared to Yalcin.
Yeah, I feel like he was in control for probably, 4/5 of that round. You see him faking the jump there as well.
Now tries the throw by. Yalcin pulled very quickly at the start of the first round into a leg lock. Hasn't tried to since, and he's big 2-on-1 here.
Yeah, it didn't. Nice try to just throw the other armbar into the double, but I didn't saw that. Nice old school arm drag to the single leg again.
And runs through for the takedown, and definitely seems a little bit of fatigue from the blue corner now.
This is where the efficiency kicks in. It's just a better strategy overall to win more of your matches. If you can stay nice and efficient with your technique the whole way through the match, you don't really run into these problems the same way.
Yeah, just under 4 minutes left. A very firm side control here, looking to pass across to Mount.
Yeah, he's stapling the legs. I can't remember. The kids call this the power ride, I think, something along those lines. But it's a really uncomfortable position where it twists your partner's spine, makes it very difficult for them to retain guard or recover guard.
I wonder what type of strategy Yeltsin will use now. Will he hold on and go more defensive mode, shell up and try not get submitted, or will he risk being submitted and try and fight back for maybe one or two more?
You can just see the zip has gone out of the defense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of accepting it. We often see this in matches. There's a turning point where someone just gets that little bit ahead and then the other person really takes over. And you've got a really good example in this match.
Clifford smothering the face immediately there and smiling as he does so.
Sometimes that low battery mode as well is almost to save a little bit so you don't get submitted. You know, don't fully empty the gas tank, because then you probably will get submitted quite soon after it.
Yeah. Great entry into the knee slide there with the underhook for Thomas and immediately shutting that down.
Yeah, and he's just going to peel the leg off and repass again here, marching that far side underhook up high.
Surprised he's like, for me personally, I'd be putting a ton more pressure down on Yeltsin. Like, I would be really trying to smother him and make him uncomfortable and sap his gas tank even further.
I wonder, does losing the round as well play into feeling a little bit more tired?
Potentially. I think, you know, that initial really good section that he had and then throwing up all those leg locks and not really getting anything off it, that can be quite demoralizing.
Because being successful or your moves being landed or pulled off when you're doing well, it kind of takes away a bit of the tiredness that you're experiencing. But then when things aren't going your way or you're down around...
Yeah, everything just seems like it takes so much more effort.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy's just dancing around him now, like really in control.
Oh,
and
big chest hit to the back.
Choke.
He's in under the neck, and he gets the submission.
There you go. That was certainly fatigue and just kind of momentum shift. Good work from Thomas Clifford. Picks up his second win here. This time his first by submission. Let's take a look at the takedown and then probably the finish, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was like classic arm drag into single leg, right? We were talking about Marcelo Garcia earlier. It's basically his game. And Tommy did a great job of just controlling the pace. And then this entry was beautiful. Already had the arm around the neck as he chair sat across. And the finish happened almost immediately.
Taking the back and putting the choke on at the same time. Yep. So hard to defend both things in one.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Thomas Clifford.
Well, congratulations to Thomas Clifford. 2-0 on Polaris. Commiserations to Lausin Suku. So much more action from the prelims here at Polaris coming up. And don't forget, we are going live a little bit later on FloGrappling for our main card, that Polaris welterweight Grand Prix bracket with the best in the world. Of course, our bantamweight women's title fight as well. Lots more action to come. Stay with us here from Bath.
has been one of our most difficult cases. Wung is dealing with a lot. A crippled leg, a disabled eye, a speech impediment. One problem could be enough, but with Wung, he has multiple. With jiu-jitsu and all the things that they can achieve their dreams.
Let's welcome fighting out of the blue corner, Asim Hussein.
Welcome back to 35-year-old Asim Hussein from High Wycombe. Seen him once before, a couple of events ago, down in Croydon. Didn't get a win tonight, so looking to bounce back this evening. Been training for 10 years, black belt, running his own gym, 50-50 submission grappling.
And now let's welcome fighting out of the red corner, Gavin Stewart.
Gavin Stewart returning for, I think, the third time to our Polaris preliminary card. Representing Birmingham and Banbury. Been training for over 18 years now. Still competing regularly at 44 years old. And I think Tom's someone we've seen come very close to winning and losing all the way through these matches.
Yeah, I actually think he won the Warrior of the Night, won Polaris because of his late comeback. He was in some deep trouble for one of the matches, came back and got the victory at the end. It was a really fantastic match.
And going through some of those tough matches as well, it gives you so much confidence going into future matches, knowing that no matter how bad it gets, you can always come back.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 75 kilos. Representing submission grappling and Aswa Jiu-Jitsu from Palestine, let's welcome Asim Hussein. And now let's welcome his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 77.2 kilos. Representing 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu from the United Kingdom, Gavin Stewart.
Quick guard pull from Hussein here. Makes a connection, gets to his back, looking to go to work behind that elbow quickly.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he had some very nice leg entries. Did a really good job in his last match. He also looks considerably smaller than Gavin, despite only a 2 kilo difference.
Yeah, a couple of kilos, but not a huge amount.
Offsets the 10-year age advantage.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, 44 years old is Stewart. Still competing very regularly. Actually said he's coming off a gold at Naga. Feels great, but starting to feel old.
Some solid passing there on top. Sometimes the 10th Planet competitors as well, I'm expecting some fancy guard play or a very unique game. But a lot of them now are so well-rounded, and Gavin's shown here just great passing early on, shutting down some good attacks on the bottom as well. Yeah,
I mean, they're a bunch more typical gym now than certainly when they were outliers and stylistically in the early days.
Yeah, I think PJ Barch, who we'll see later, is a good example of that. Very wrestling heavy, great leg locks.
Super well-rounded.
Yeah. Nice leg entry there from Gavin. Really good job.
Good control so far. Toe hold's always a tricky option from there in general. Like toe hold from the saddle, the direction you're trying to break the foot is the direction they roll to escape, so it's tough to pull off.
Now, this fight is brought to you by Venom, the biggest brand in combat sports.
But it does seem to be like mostly Gavin on top, pushing the pace at the moment. And I see him really reacting to what he's doing.
Pace has slowed down quite a bit. Asim was all action early on. He got his guard pass, so now I think he's changing strategy a little bit, trying to control Gavin and maybe look to enter the legs.
Oh, just getting it off balance with the bite on the arm here.
Nice shot from Asim. And keeping hold of that underhook as well.
Yeah, tries to pick up the elbow for the Kimura, but he's going to have to settle for top position here.
Very nice opportunistic sweep there. Gavin was keeping his hips so low, avoiding any leg entries. He actually took away a bit too much of his base and just got swept over easily.
Yeah, we're going to see some of this guard play from the 10th planet now, hopefully. We have seen Gavin use some of the very traditional 10th planet stuff. I remember we seeing him in lockdown. Nice pass again from Asim.
Yeah, quick as well.
Very back and forth. Similar passing styles from both as well.
Yeah, we see the lockdown there creeping in from Gavin.
Here we go.
It's difficult. If someone's got much shorter legs than you, it can be very tricky to get the full bite on the leg because it's just small.
Yeah. Probably the most annoying position in all of jiu-jitsu to get stuck in, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if he uses it here. Ordinarily, you'd see people use it to go underneath your opponent.
I still have PTSD after getting swept to an electric chair in a purple belt competition about 12 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah. We all have those moments, Tom. It's a pretty close round again.
Yeah, it is. Guys, how do we have this discussion a lot. How do we feel about passing on the knees versus standing to pass here? Do you think he's just weary of the leg entries? Or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be super hard to pass on the knees, in all honesty. Like, you're not mobile in that position. You need to be at least up on your toes in some kind of bear crawl.
Yeah, the flat-footed is a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Normally you see heavier people using that a lot more. It's harder to get underneath them. It's harder to budge them, so they kind of double down on that attribute.
Yeah. It also means that the person who's on bottom can very easily create distance away from you because you just don't have the same forward pressure.
Yeah. It's that trade-off. Do you want to maximize your defense or maximize your attack?
Yeah.
The answer is probably closer to somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think under this rule set as well, being so defensive, so heavy on your knees isn't the best option.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of movement, and both guys having their turn to push the action.
You probably have to give a slight edge to Asim with the sweep.
Yeah, I mean, he's technically he's had 2 passes and a sweep.
Yeah.
Whereas Gavin just had that 1 pass.
And this last minute, just having a very defensive posture for the last minute doesn't really do you any favors as well.
Yeah, having to block some late stage attacks there from Asim Hussein.
Does look like Gavin's taking some very big deep breaths after the end of that as well.
Let's take a look back at some of the action.
I think this was right at the very end of the match. This is the early pass from Yassine. Did a good job of using that underhook to really force Gavin back to the ground.
We have got a deep preliminary card here for you on YouTube
The winner of round number 1. Blue corner, Asim Hussein.
Asim Hussein does take it in the first round, so Gavin Stewart is going to have to start pushing the action a bit more here.
Can he hit one of his classic comebacks in the second round?
He almost knew the guard pull was coming there, and he still wasn't able to quite anticipate it.
I mean, this is where we left off at the end of the first round, right? In close guard, Gavin on his knees trying to open it up. I feel like this is one of the times that all the kids should just be selling, yes, just stand up.
Very different from the start of the first round. It was all action for the first minute, and then they both got a feel for each other, got their guard passed early on, and now they've seemed to slow down a bit.
It almost looks like Gavin's trying to bait the triangle. Like he's reaching back. I've noticed it a couple of times. He reached into like an underpass position. He might be trying to bait that to then turn the corner.
Yeah. It's just the flat foot is going to make it very difficult here for him to open the guard. Oh, never mind.
Seen Hussein a couple of times throw that leg over the top. Look to pull that elbow through.
You've seen it on the triangle.
Yeah, he's got a good shot here, especially with that left elbow of Stewart so far away, but he opts to open the guard back up.
And even if Gavin can defend a lot of these things and pull out and avoid, it's still all playing into Asim's favour. He's the one leading the attacks.
Find some positivity for himself.
Asim not really making any adjustments to try and get an attack, but it is the onus on him to do it. He won the first round. He's attacking a little bit more in the second round here.
He's had some really good success with that that grip.
I think Gavin actually tried to do like a Kimura, from like an Americana type move on it, which gave Asim the sweep. Same thing there. He dived underneath and tried to bend the arm.
And he's just compromising his base as he does.
And you're just giving top position away. Asim didn't stabilize that time. But again, I don't think that necessarily looks good in the judges' eyes as well. Like we can see from our angle, from the replay, that Gavin was trying to work onto that, like, I don't know, Americana-y type position. But they can't necessarily see that. It looks like he just got swept, or his hips got forced to the ground.
You can see he's monitoring that right elbow here. I mean, this is what got him in trouble with the triangle entry before, was that elbow coming a bit too far back.
Will Gavin open up a little bit here? Now he has some more mobility. He can start to pass side to side.
Right, he certainly had to change something up, so good to see that happening.
Yeah, he was trying to use that tripod position. You've seen just doing a great job of just underhooking the leg and inverting and shutting it down. And again, we go back to the closed guard.
It must be the threat he felt in the first round from Asim going for the legs. That must be affecting him somehow in how he's approaching the guard.
Yeah, again, he's settling into this position on his knees here. We were hoping that change of pace from him would be consistent, but
There you saw him trying to use that triangle to pass the guard.
He's got a tight waist grip here over the top. Can he pin him down? Good urgency from Hussein in defense to scramble back up and nab a half guard here.
And that was the strategy you were saying earlier, Tom, that he's baiting the triangle and that's what he's using to pass.
Interesting, though, because, I mean, that was, I don't know, almost probably the closest of anything in this round.
Could he steal the round with that?
I feel like he's been on the defense the rest of the time, though.
Yeah.
I think just the volume of other things that have happened.
One more good attack could seal it for him.
I mean, it's like 15 seconds of activity versus, the other
3 minutes.
Yeah, but then again, I guess Yassine hasn't done that much in this round either. He's been kind of passive.
Again, with this grip under the arm and able to invert over the top, almost sweeping.
I feel like Gav could definitely, if we get a good solid 30 seconds out of him in this half, then he could definitely steal this. Because I don't think Yassine is that far ahead. But Gavin needs to push the pace if he wants to.
That sweep that Asim's been pulling off most of the match is kind of the tail of what's been going on.
Yeah.
Almost like a shoulder crunch, but without a butterfly hook. It's quite strange that he's been so successful with it.
looks like he's trying to go towards the footlock here.
Well, a Hail Mary, last second something, but he's not going to get the grips, and Stewart definitely some big breaths at the end of that. Of course, neither of these two know if they've done enough to secure the, well, in this case, the win for Hussein or the overtime round for Stewart. Look back at some of the replays here, and this was the closest pass that Gavin Stewart had.
Yeah, I mean, then Asim got up into that position twice. Gavin just kind of scrambled out from it each time. He did fall back on this footlock, but there's not really anything there. He didn't have great control over the leg.
A bit too little, too late.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner, Asim Hussein.
So Asim Hussein does get his first win here on the Polaris undercard. Bounces back from the loss at Polaris 36. Good showing from him. Very active throughout.
Yeah, I think the first half was great. Gavin just played a very slow game, and it's hard if someone's being super defensive. They're keeping all their limbs in. It's really hard to get anything working.
Correct.
Let's welcome fighting at the blue corner, Peter Shamarku.
The crowd is starting to fill up fairly heavily here in Bath as we head towards our main card a little bit later. First to the mat in this preliminary bout, Peter Shamarku, 26 years old, full-time teacher at London Grapple. Have seen him 4 times before on Polaris, bit of a mixed record, but it does mean he's got the experience advantage for this particular environment coming into this one.
And now let's welcome fighting at the red corner, Ryan Brinkley.
So Ryan Brinkley runs 10th Planet Bath. So very, very local situation for him. Originally got into grappling through watching mixed martial arts. That was about 12 years ago.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, official weight 75.6 kilos, representing London Grapple from the United Kingdom by way of Cyprus, Peter Shamarku. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 75.6 kilos, representing 10th Planet Bath from the United Kingdom, Ryan Brinkley.
As expected, a little bit of a partisan crowd for the more local man here.
Like I said, we've seen Peter a few times. He has some very, very technical jiu-jitsu. He just kind of struggles with a little bit when it gets a bit more intense, I think, is the best way to think about it.
I guess he's going to say feisty.
Yeah.
Looking to keep the limbs in here, stop the leg control.
Peter looking to get some type of De La Hiva guard, I think, off balance, and then we'll see some of his Berimbolo and leg lock game coming.
Well, Brinkley staying very far on the outside at the moment, trying to stop any of the grips.
He does need to be progressing forwards, though. He can't just kind of keep walking around. Like, I think both of them need to engage to make sure that they're showing the judges that they do want this match, right? Because at the moment they're both kind of circling very, very tentatively.
Yeah, that's the problem when playing on your back is your main guard. It can be difficult to get that engagement, especially no gi when the other person gets a bit sweaty.
Yeah, I think one of the best things to do is actually just let the person engage a little bit, and then you can start tying them up. If you get too defensive, they just don't even come towards you, or they don't get the opportunity to come towards you, right?
You kind of have to give something so that you can take something then afterwards.
Yeah, Shamarku trying to be very active immediately with the grips, and that's forcing defense from Brinkley early.
Yeah, he did a nice job of using that dummy sweep to catch the leg. But then Brinkley just kind of backing out a little bit.
It's those little small skills in jiu-jitsu that are so underrated. You see some, like a guard player who might be one of the best at this style, Levi Jones-Leary. He has so many different ways that you wouldn't even notice to get the connection and keep onto it.
Yeah, I think Ryan just got warned for not engaging.
Which is a fair warning, really, because Shamarku is the one initiating all the grips, and it's Brinkley having to strip them, and then he's just playing the distance game.
Yeah.
We're here to do jiu-jitsu at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, resetting back to a neutral position, but then you have to enter back into the position as well afterwards.
And what does that say to you this early in the match, where he just looked to pull into some sort of leg entanglement rather than even try and pass the guard?
I mean, he that might be his game, and unfortunately Peter got into the guard way quicker than he did.
Oh, big triangle entry.
This looks on now.
Yeah.
If he can crunch knees to chest here. Trust your squeeze.
Yeah, this is going to be a tricky situation for Brinkley.
Yeah, I mean, Peter's got so much time to work here. You know, he can just slowly increase the pressure, take his time a little bit, potentially look to come up on top as well.
Yeah.
Look for the kimuras.
He has such long legs as well. There's probably not a great deal of pressure on this, you know, on his instep, forcing him to strain here.
If he can't get the finish from this position, it's actually quite easy. Roll onto your far hip. Yeah. And because their arm is trapped in the triangle, they'll end up in the bottom mount. And then when they're facing up, that's when joint locks and things get a lot stronger.
Exactly, yeah. And you're probably going to end up in a better triangle position on top as well. Or you can at least readjust without the fear of them pulling out.
We've seen Gordon Ryan using this a lot, actually, when he was back in his smaller days.
I mean, it's one of the tactics that we teach our kids. Put both hands on the ground and slowly walk back up to mount. And if you watch a lot of kids jiu-jitsu, it is probably the #1 thing that happens in kids' matches. It's triangle, and then they sweep to mount, and then they bend the arm over the hip.
This looks like a very strong position for Peter. He just hasn't set it in a way where he's confident to squeeze.
Yeah.
It can take a lot out of your legs to squeeze, so you want to be 100% sure you have the right angle.
It does look like he's hipping in here.
He's definitely pushing. I think
he got
the
the
submission.
tap.
Here we go.
Well, good work from Shimaku.
Great finish.
Yeah, and it's nice to have him. As you say, we've seen him several times before, and he has picked up a few losses on Polaris. It's nice to see him have some success with what is good technical jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, he does have really, really nice technique. Normally we actually see him use a lot more inversions and things like this, but this is a great entry.
Really nice entry there, threatening the K-guard, threatening the armbar, and then going to the third option, locking up the triangle, and once it's locked in, he just took his time, put on the squeeze.
It was a beautiful little hip switch to actually get over the top as well. Yeah, really nice job from Peter.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to a triangle choke, Peter Shimaku.
Congratulations to Peter Shimaku. 9 more prelim bouts coming your way here from Polaris before we head over to FloGrappling for our main card, the Polaris 38 welterweight Grand Prix. Lots of big names in that one. Of course, our women's bantamweight belt is back on the line as well. Stay with us here.
Grand Prix winner PJ Barch returns. And this time, welterweight champion Mateusz Szczecinski is waiting. Along with the best 170-pound grapplers in the world. Also featuring super fight, Sarah Galvao versus Zara DiStefano for the bantamweight title. The Polaris 38 Grand Prix live on FloGrappling.
Let's welcome, fighting out of the blue corner, Jonathan Lewis.
So Jonathan Lewis makes his way to the mat, 26 years old, representing 10th Planet Banbury. His first time with us here on Polaris. Currently a brown belt, been training a touch over 12 years. Did have a bit of a judo background growing up. Interesting to see if he can put that to use tonight.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of the red corner, Dylan O'Brien.
Welcome to Dylan O'Brien. Actually one of our production members here on Polaris. So I'm sure the crew very eagerly watching this one. 24 years old, representing Alento Bristol. Been training for 14 years already. and is a black belt, of course. Has a bit of wrestling pedigree as well. So I'd be happy if we get a bit of wrestling and judo clashing in the stand-up for a change.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, official weight 71.7 kilos. Representing 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Banbury. From the United Kingdom, introducing Jonathan Lewis. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 72.1 kilos. Representing Alento, Bristol. From the United Kingdom, let's welcome Dylan O'Brien.
So both guys low stance and a quick sit from Lewis here.
Dylan having some good success putting him on his back straight away.
Getting a long way around the sides early, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's got super long limbs compared to Jonathan.
It's actually a huge advantage being able to control the person with your arms and keep your legs away at the same time.
Well, he's got caught here as he tried to vault over the top.
Has the knee free.
Yeah, good composed defense. Back to work from the standing position.
Jonathan put a lot of squeeze into that. That kind of shows me that he has a lot of confidence in it, or that's one of the moves that he thinks he can pull off throughout the match. So let's see if he can get to that position again soon.
Yeah, he seems to be very disciplined with his positioning as well. He's really hiding that inside space well.
I mean, he's sitting very upright, wasn't he? Elbows were very tucked in.
Yeah.
He really didn't want to give up that posture.
Very comfortable with knees to chest as well, and then counter-attacking from there.
Well, he's got a scoop grip here. Let's see if he can work his way across. Forces the roll. Going counter footlock.
This could be over here if Dylan can't keep moving, keep turning.
Oh, and he gets the submission.
Nice finish.
Jonathan Lewis with a quick heel hook submission.
And it all came from that same hugging the foot really tight, controlling with the legs, and then putting on the finish.
What a great Polaris debut for Jonathan Lewis. Let's take a look at the finish here. Well, this was one of the earlier leg entanglements.
Yeah, Dylan defended this one relatively well. Jonathan just did a good job of getting into that K-guard, and then once he got there, he caught the leg and isolated it very well as well.
And once you have those legs triangled on the inside, it's very hard to escape. You're trying to peel off the legs at the same time as trying to clear your heels, so it's very hard to do both at the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to a heel hook, Jonathan Lewis.
Congratulations to Jonathan Lewis. As you said, guys, just such a good bite and just really a lot of tension very quickly. And that's kind of the game changer with some of those.
And a very clear game plan as well. He just wanted that move straight away. You could see that grip that he was using on the heel from the K-guard was setting up a lot of different leg attacks from him, so he was able to get the finish.
Well, could that be a contender for our 1,000-pound warrior performance of the night for our preliminary card? It's got to be one of the contenders. It was a good quick submission. Still 8 more bouts to come, though. Lots more action.
ことを、自らの無限の可能性を、そしてそれが全て手の届くところにあると、ひたむきな努力によって。
Let's welcome, fighting out of the blue corner, Hugo Dvoretsky.
Second appearance for both of these athletes on the Polaris undercard. Dvoretsky we saw back at Polaris 33. Did pick up a win there against Tommy Grealish by decision. Representing London Grapple, one of the teams we see consistently on both the main cards and the undercards here at Polaris.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of the red corner, Joe Matthews.
His opponent, Joe Matthews, a couple of years older at 27. Personal trainer and brown belt who's been training jiu-jitsu for 8 years. He's representing Kin Jiu-Jitsu. His only other appearance on Polaris, a decision loss. Tough opponent though for him.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 73.6 kilos. Representing London Grapple from Slovakia, introducing Hugo Dvoretsky. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 76.2 kilos, representing Kin Jiu-Jitsu from the United Kingdom, Joe Matthews.
So both men at brown belts currently. Bit of height and reach advantage for Dvoretsky. I like the intensity. It was an arm drag attempt into the double. Uses it to pull guard here.
And back up on top. Nice sequence there from Hugo early on.
Yeah, nicely cleared the legs as well. Well, let's be fair. Joe did a good job of using that foot to then restand and neutralize that takedown of Hugo's.
Yeah, and Hugo's using a lot more energy early on. Joe is still kind of feeling out, seeing what different attacks he needs to be more aware of. Nice spin under, kiss the dragon.
Yeah, Hugo's got some very technical jiu-jitsu. We've seen him a few times on this show, and he always puts on a really beautiful display. You see it there, just switching side to side, inverting underneath the legs.
Very nice. Entry here.
Yeah, he's got to defend this inside position.
He's trying to pass it across. This could get very bad because his legs are triangled inside already. You can see Hugo just trying to avoid that.
Yeah, he wants to tie up that far leg, right, and then enter into the...
This could be too little too late. Yeah, that's going to be very tight. Hugo needs to keep moving at all costs.
Oh, he does. He gets back up, puts some weight on it, and strips the grip.
That's impressive defense because that position is extremely tricky when the legs are triangled deep like that.
Yeah, it's essentially just in the Z-lock, right? And you know, he made a great job of clearing it. We've seen that so effective on the last squads, for example, where someone's knee got wrecked from the position.
I think Joe was a bit overconfident in the finish. He bridged to the side, got the heel, but then to finish, he started turning across his body. Instead of just continue bridge that side, and it makes it very difficult then for Hugo to roll as he did.
Oh, thank you to our sponsors, Warrior, low sugar, high protein, ridiculously tasty. Try Warrior Crunch protein bars today.
Joe trying to hit this back step entry again into the saddle.
Dereski again playing this heavy inversion game, the long limbs wrapping around.
It's almost in a Kyotera footlock there as well, right?
Yeah.
He was pressuring down on the knee.
We're only about halfway through this first period. There's been a lot of activity from both guys so far.
Getting a good look at both of their games. I really like this Kiss the Dragon inside spin that Hugo's using from the reverse De La Hiva. Great way to just get your opponent off balance, and then you can start to chain attacks on both legs once you're spin behind.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to enter the inside position from there when he goes there, in using this kind of jump back position. Actually, Mateusz Szczecinski, who really popularized that recently, coming off the shin bolo.
Yeah. Let's see, will he go to that option again? He's mixing up different entries each time he does it as well.
Yeah, and then just went up to the upper body as well, trying to chase that armbar, keeping Joe on his toes.
Yeah, it means Mateusz isn't quite able to get any of his own initiations off. This, of course, is how you win around from the bottom. You keep attacking, you keep threatening.
That early attack from Joe kind of woke Hugo up a little bit as well, I think. Now he's being much more cautious when he's entering the legs, not to get countered himself.
He's gone into the belly down footlock. Looks tight as well.
Ooh, heel just slips out there, trying to come across for a heel hook, and that gives enough space for Mateusz to recover. But this has really been all Dereski so far. Maybe not now, though.
Both of them showing great defense on the legs.
That was a smart move from Joe, though, getting that submission attack back straight away again. But now Hugo ending on top after sweeping.
Yeah, I like the persistence to stay on that leg and get the trip. Didn't just let Mateusz back to the feet and reset standing. Again, shoots from a long way out, really just with the intention to pull guard. He's got 20 seconds in this round to put another stamp on it.
Hugo ready for the back step there.
Yeah, nicely jumped in.
Oh, and again he follows up, maintaining control of the leg, kicks the standing leg out. That's another takedown or wrestle up for him.
It just looks like he's having a blast as
he
well.
He enjoyed
there,
that
right?
takedown himself as well.
He's having a lot of fun.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that first period.
That's really nice chaining of the entries together, right? This was the best submission threat that he had. And it looked relatively close as well. You really forced Joe to defend.
Just never got a full control over Joe's leg. Lots of good different entries, though, making Joe defend a lot. A couple of good takedowns thrown in there. Versus Joe probably having the strongest.
The winner of round number one, Hugo Dereski.
Well, Dereski is going to take the first period on the judges' scorecards. What do you need to see from Mateusz to try and neutralize this game?
I think he's trying to insist on that back step entry because he hit it so well early on in the match, but now Hugo's clued into it a bit. So in the second round, I think his coaches might be advising him, don't go to that as option A. Try and see, can you pass the guard, put some pressure on Hugo, and maybe when he defends the pass, that'll open up the back step entry.
I think Hugo's doing a great job of keeping him on the back foot as well. Like, he's defending all of the time, and that's because Hugo's initiating so much. He's always, the second that he gets into this position, inverts underneath, tries to capture the leg, and Joe needs to get ahead. You know.
Yeah, he would benefit perhaps from a tempo change, like rather than taking a beat to reset and allow Davreski a chance to think about his next entry, just straight into something with some pressure.
Hugo's guard game just keeping him very off balance, connecting De La Riva, reverse De La Riva, and the K guard, and just mixing them all together nice and fluid. It doesn't really give Joe a chance to get anything going himself, besides falling back on these entries that aren't really working at the moment.
No, very quickly stripped again by Davreski, who earns almost his third trip takedown in as many minutes.
Yeah, but then Hugo manages to do that inside reach again, just to sit back to his guard and get back in his game almost immediately.
He's kind of comfortable here now, you can see, after the first round scare, let's say, in the first minute.
Yeah, he hasn't had to weather any pressure in this bottom position, really. Has cleared the knee here, but
inside spin again from Hugo.
Yeah, shooting in towards those knees.
Just a bit shallow on some of the saddle entries from there. Joe doing a good job being aware, keeping his knee free.
Yeah, what I would say is, though, Joe, if you watch what he's doing, he's really just pulling out of the positions. He's not necessarily counter-attacking them so much. And again, that's not going to get him up on those scorecards.
he just doesn't seem to have an immediate solution for the very dexterous legs of Davreski.
Yeah, and again, Hugo up on top, strips the hip.
Third or fourth time now that Mateusz has pulled into the Nashigorami and had it immediately cleared.
But I think that's the difference between the two. If you saw when Hugo was defending, he wasn't just trying to pull out, he was trying to spin underneath. And that's allowed him to get ahead again of Joe. And now Joe is back defending this footlock position.
Oh, big bridge, though, into this one. Looking to go belly down, feet on the hips.
A bit tighter. Joe's just seemed a bit immune so far to some of these leg attacks.
Well, he gives a thumbs up and has a chuckle, but he's only got about a minute 45 to turn this round around and try and push us for the first time tonight to our overtime periods.
But that's a great point, Tom. The way Hugo's defending, it's so different than Joe.
Yeah.
It gives him a chance to then start to improve his own position instead of ripping out and then having to go back into your opponent's attacks again.
Yeah, I mean, Hugo in that kind of situation would be backstepping over, trying to use that wedge bowler, come back under the legs. Joe is pushing down and clearing the foot, re-engaging.
Yeah.
It's almost the difference between like countering versus just defending, right?
Approaching the final minute here. Some gamesmanship on the throat push.
And there, that was a good opportunity. Like, Hugo was being a little bit lazy with his defenses. Joe could have pushed the pace a little bit more to try and force the pass.
Yeah, there's just too many attacks coming at him. I think he's caught in a few different minds at the same time. Showing great defense and great awareness. But this backstep, it's almost too enticing, and it's occupying a big part of his mind, I think.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where he probably needed to mix it up some time ago and just hasn't been able to yet. Looking to ride to the back here, but leg stuck.
Yeah, Hugo back heeling hard to try and keep the hip turned. See if you go. Oh, nice shot though.
Yeah, got in deep on the hips and good proprioception.
Nice.
Not able to. And a handstand cartwheel out by Dubreski. He seems very happy. I think he's fairly confident that he's done enough, and I feel like we are too.
Yeah, I mean, he was in control through all of that match. Great job of chaining his techniques together. When he was in trouble like this, you know, you saw him trying to invert underneath.
He started to figure out what was working and what wasn't throughout the match as well, and just kept Joe so off balance when he was on top. He didn't really get a chance to pull his own attacks off.
I mean, he had some fairly good bites on the legs as well. They were tight, you know. Obviously, Joe, you know, very good defense in terms, you know, wasn't going to tap from that, but they were good entries.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner, Hugo Dvoretsky.
Hugo Dvoretsky continues his winning streak here at Polaris. Didn't get the sub again, however, it wasn't for lack of trying. Good work from the 24-year-old. We still have so much more grappling to come before at 6:30 p.m. local time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. We're going to jump across live and exclusive to FloGrappling for our main card of Polaris 38, the welterweight Grand Prix.
Reorg. This is Reorg. Mission: to support our community of military, emergency services and veterans. Programs: through a 60-day and 365-day fully funded Jiu-Jitsu program. Help those who help us all. Support the Reorg mission today.
And now let's welcome, fighting out the blue corner, Ana Maria Arboleda.
This is the first of our ladies' matches on the prelim here, and it is going to be a good one. Ana Maria Arboleda, originally from Colombia, but making a home in Barcelona currently at 10th Planet Barcelona. She's been training for 9 years, a brown belt. Also an architect with her day job. But we've seen her on Polaris before because she picked up second place in our Polaris contenders in Wales behind Zara Di Stefano, who you're going to see competing tonight in our super fight for the bantamweight belt against Sarah Galvão.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of the red corner, Ashley Bendel.
We welcome back for the 5th time Ashley Bendel. I know you like this stat, so I'm 29 years old, training for 24 years. She is, of course, black belt. We've seen her in some big matches here. She fought Margot Ciccarelli, she fought Michelle Nicolini and Libby Genge as well. Relatively local to here, representing RGA Bristol. Picked up a silver at ADCC Trials. That was her last significant outing this year.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, official weight 57.5 kilos. Representing 10th Planet Barcelona, from Spain by way of Colombia, let's welcome Ana Maria Arboleda. And let's welcome her opponent, fighting out of the red corner. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, official weight 58.3 kilos. Representing RGA Bristol, from Wales, Ashley Bendel.
Yeah, I was talking to Ashley earlier, and she said something like she'd been competing for 22 years or 24 years or something insane.
Well, we are expecting a very good competitive match from these two young women.
Yeah, it's also very cool to see the Polaris PSG format coming through now. We're starting to see some of the people who are going into those competitions coming to the main card. You know, we've seen it a couple of times with different super fight matches, and now we've got them filtering through into the undercard too.
Yeah, we of course have 2 of those competitors who won our Polaris contenders up tonight. Sebastian Patek is in our men's welterweight Grand Prix. And as we mentioned, Zara Di Tofano gets her shot at the bantamweight belt. So a little cagey on the feet here through the first minute.
I feel like they're both really trying to feel each other out in this this first minute.
Yeah, slow
Being kind of
start.
cagey, yeah.
Both want to end up in the top position, I think, but probably don't want to take a huge risk early on with a big shot in.
Beautiful tight waist there from Ana. A nice little trip from Ashley.
Just kind of muscled her way into the top position.
She's trying to float that leg over the top, and she has, but bit of guard retention from Arboleda.
Yeah, Ashley has very, very good passing, very heavy top pressure. She's quite long for this division as well, like in terms of leg and arm length.
Yeah, she's going to be looking to get to the knee slide position as soon as she can. That's definitely her main spot to attack and pass the guard.
Well, quick back up to the feet.
Smart strategy from Ana, though. A lot of the times you'll end up on the bottom and you just accept it for whatever reason. It's kind of how you play jiu-jitsu almost. But if you just refuse and stand up, a lot of the time it throws the other person off when they're expecting you to just stay on the ground and play guard.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if she decides to go back to that body lock again, because, you know, Ashley did a great job of defending it.
Yeah.
Ended up on top, ended up in a good position on top as well. It's almost like Ashley is baiting that. She's continually reaching over the top.
Good signs, though, for Ana that she was the one initiating the takedown. Yeah. Okay, it didn't go her way. She got countered. But if she goes for it again, she might be ready for some of those counters.
It was a nice little 2-on-1, and then she switched to the other side as well. From Ana, it was some solid wrestling.
Wow, there you go. There's the body lock and a huge throw off the Wizard, trying to hop over the top.
Yeah.
Good counter back. Great scramble here, and pouncing to look to take the back is Arboleda.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was wondering how Ana would deal with that, because this is clearly one of the main weapons that she has, is using that body lock for the Uchi. And the Uchimata is always there if you're going to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see if she could counter Ashley, who has used that Uchimata.
Great scramble here.
Yeah, Bendel now looking to grab a leg.
She just refused
That is kind of the nice thing about having that body lock when you're there. You can utilize it a little bit to make sure you maintain top position. Or at least you can start rolling the person over as well. You're so far down on their hips.
At the end of the day, it is a positional advantage. So if you can insist then on finishing it off and don't get thrown off by your opponent's counters, you should be the one who comes out on top from it.
One of my training partners, Jack, calls it bounce back ability.
Yep.
Nice job. Now Anna's on top. I feel like this is the position that she wanted to be in as well.
Yeah. Let's see, can she make the most of it?
You can hear Ashley's coach is calling for her to be a little bit more active on the bottom.
Well, you know, these are short rounds at 5 minutes, and we're already into the final minute here. So coming out on the wrong side of a big competitive scramble is sucking up a lot of time.
We saw it in our previous match with Hugo as well. When you're busy on the bottom and you're forcing your partner to react to you, it is a very solid tactic because they can't really get ahead of you.
Yeah. I'm liking the very clear game plan from Anna as well. Look for that body lock standing, try and get the takedown. And she's clearly getting to the passes she likes when she's here as well. So she's the one who's initiating and making Ashley counter instead.
Yeah, she's getting close to the pass again now. Doing a good job of stabilizing.
She had a good over-under grip the whole time there. She's only got 20 seconds left to work. Can she get the back here?
Threatening the choke now at the same time.
Yeah, it's a good tactic, right? They force them to fight the hands. That's going to free up the hooks.
Well, Bendel's just going to hunker down here for the final 10 or 15 seconds. We're going to go to a second round. It was fairly slow start. Then it looked like Bendel had the upper hand, and certainly seems like the momentum has swung the way of the Colombian.
Big round for Anna there.
Yeah. Yeah, that last kind of 2 minutes was very important.
Yeah, that was the first body lock that was sort of countered, and it happened again with a huge Uchimata attempt.
Yeah, Anna just maintaining that underhook and then really like driving over the top.
Just insisted on that takedown. Yeah. And standing up from the bottom again is just such an underrated tactic. She failed to take down the first time.
Winner of round number one, Anna Maria Arboleta.
Well, the judges seeing it the same way. Arboleta getting the first period on the judges' scorecards. Bendel's going to know that, though. She's been in this position several times before on Polaris, so 5 minutes to try and pull it back.
Yeah, she's a very, very experienced competitor. Being down in one round is not going to mean anything to her. You know, it just means that she needs to change her tactics and potentially look at upping her work rate.
I wonder what tactics she will change now, because it's clear she does want to end up in the top position, but Anna's kind of leading the grip exchanges on the feet.
It looks like she's not favoring that reaching over the back so much as she was, right? She's now no longer getting to that position, but nice 2-on-1 again from Anna. Like in the previous round, Ashley was very much reaching over the top of the shoulder, trying to use the kind of tricep tie. And now she's no longer doing that because that was giving access to Anna to the body lock.
Oh, and Bendel sits guard this time. Arboleta wasting no time and just trying to bully her back to the mat.
Ending up on top straight away.
It's a good idea from Bendel. At least she's the one initiating where the fight's taking place. She's pulling guard. She's going for it. I'm curious, like, I'm surprised that she didn't make a grip or enter into a guard she wanted straight away instead of just sitting down and letting Anna come straight at her.
Yeah, I mean, it was confusing as to how Anna ended up on the bottom because it looked like she almost just slipped and fell. Trying to enter that reverse X position. It looks like Anna's using that K to create space rather than enter in towards the legs. Like she does seem to really want to be in top position.
And I think she really wants to avoid settling into that knee slide position where Ashley's very comfortable. She's just using that K guard. It puts off people that are trying to knee slide. It forces them to use different strategies from there.
She was trying for a triangle lock here, but...
Yeah, I think she was trying to go to reverse close guard, but then Ashley had the arm inside and it just shut it down. This is good for Ashley, though. It's putting a lot of pressure on Anna, you know, and it's tiring to continually elevate the hips. engages a lot of the core. That affects the breathing.
Oh, and Arboleda recognizing that. She's back to the feet. Good bit of fight IQ we saw in the first period as well.
Yeah, the forward pressure of Ashley was doing a great job. And again, Anna forced to the hips. It looks like Anna's trying to use the double underpass, and she's actually intentionally sitting down on the ground to get underneath the legs. But that's giving Ashley the opportunity to come up on top.
She's almost going for the pass too much.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to get swept here again.
She's working on potentially on her own toe hold, though. Now Ashley into kind of a reverse half guard type position.
Yeah, she's got to try and turn to face her, though.
Can she stay sticky here?
That right hook is causing her some grief.
Yeah, I think this... Oh, into an omoplata here. Needs to be mindful of the triangle.
Yeah.
Good job bringing that hand straight back inside. I'm surprised Anna's not cinching this up a lot tighter.
Right, a little bit of lack of urgency, maybe some fatigue.
Yeah. To me, that hand in there wouldn't mean anything. I would be smashing through that hand.
Hamstring versus fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Maybe Anna's a little bit tired.
If she could insist on it now, get a bit of an angle, hug the leg.
Yeah, and she does still have a minute to make this kind of crooked guard pay for her.
Now it's looking closer as well.
Well, she's kind of switched off to almost like a teepee position, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know why she doesn't just underhook the leg. That would slide her hips past the hand, and she'll be able to lock off like a better triangle position. I remember watching...
she is
looks
going
like she's going to squeeze this.
Yeah.
She's trying to compress that shoulder, but I feel like it'd be a better opportunity just to switch into a regular triangle here and get the better angle.
She has hooked up the grip now.
I remember watching Ashley in the Europeans a few years ago, and she was stuck in a triangle for like 8 minutes of a match. And it was like a solid triangle.
So she's comfortable here, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
She looks like she might be switching off towards the Barada Plata.
Well, there's only 20 seconds left, and you've got to say Bendel has done the better work, probably in this second period. So overtime on the cards, perhaps.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be in danger from this triangle particularly.
No.
And maybe she's got the hands locked together, which is why Anna's not necessarily switching off. But again, if she underhooked the arm or hooked the arm, she could still complete the triangle.
I mean, Arboleda there was trying to get a bit of a punch choke in on the left side as well. I'm a big fan of that, but not successful. So this one could be close. Let's take a quick look at the replays, and then we'll find out which way the judges are leaning.
I mean, that was the aggressive return to standing from Anna. I think this one, I could definitely see this going the way of Ashley. She did some good work on top.
Me too.
And on the bottom to come up on top as well, you know.
Oh, it does look like we have a decision, though. Which can only mean one thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner, Anna Maria Arboleda.
Well, clearly the prolonged triangle entry at the end of that second period swaying the judges. Congratulations to Anna Maria Arboleda. Follows up her second place on Polaris Contenders with a win in her undercard debut here. We still have a whopping 6 preliminary fights to come before we jump to FloGrappling, 6:30 p.m. local time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Lots more action still to come. The crowd getting stuck in here, live from Bath University here in the southwest of England.
for my first day, when I came here to do jiu-jitsu, they choked me. And I was not happy with that. But even I used to, you come and choke me, I will say you choke me, but also next time I will land, I will choke you. You choke me, I choke you. You choke me, I choke you. When I did jiu-jitsu on the first day, I felt so happy. When I went home, I even told my mother, Mommy, I found a new game. I just said, they just catch, they choke you, and you also choke the other person. My mom told you, now what will you get from jiu-jitsu? I told my mama, me, I love this game, I love this game.
Let's welcome, fighting at the blue corner, Max Armstrong.
So this should be quite an entertaining scrap. 29-year-old Max Armstrong, I'm going to tell you his nickname he gave himself, the Spiteful Baboon. I'm sure there's a story there, but I don't know what it is. He's been training for about 8 years now, currently a brown belt. Lots of domestic titles. Coming off a reasonable performance at ADCC trials.
And now let's welcome, fighting at the red corner, Chris Langaker.
Now, Chris Langaker, we've seen twice before. Mixed record, 1-1. Representing Paris Estra UK. His personal trainer, full-time BJJ coach, brown belt currently.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 81.2 kilos. Representing Roger Gracie Bristol from the United Kingdom, let's welcome Max Armstrong. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 83.7 kilos. Representing Paristra UK Southern Quarter, from the United Kingdom, introducing Chris Langaker.
I'm gonna guess that the baboon reference is something to do with incredibly long arms that Max Armstrong is sporting out there.
Yeah, both these guys are normally really entertaining to watch. Like, very fast pace, lots of variety in their attacks.
A reminder, we do still have up for grabs our £1,000 bonus on our undercard, our Warrior of the Night from our sponsor, Warrior Supplements. We're going to find out on the main card later who's won that, but no super clear contenders yet, perhaps, so lots to play for. I'd like to thank the UK BJJA, national governing body for UK Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, driving progress and opportunities in all areas of UK Jiu-Jitsu. We thank them for their work and their support here at Polaris.
Good hand fighting early on from Max. He's making Chris work a lot more than the other way around, controlling the head, off balancing, and also adding in some feints as well to keep Chris guessing.
Yeah, those head snaps, pulling the head down, interrupts the breathing, makes it more challenging.
They're more tiring than they look, actually, as well.
Nice little underhook. Referee is, I think, telling them they need to pick up the pace a little bit. We're 90 seconds in, and there's not a lot actually happened in the match. If I remember correctly, Max has a really solid half guard game as well.
Well, he has pulled guard here, looking to go to that right hip.
Good control here, up on top straight away.
Chris searching for that far leg.
Keeps pummeling the legs frantically here, trying to keep control, get the off balances going.
That X guard is always a battle between bottom player trying to keep the weight on the far leg and the top player trying to keep their weight on their front leg here, like Max is doing. That frees him up then to start to backstep and free his back leg from the hooks.
Yeah, it looks like Max is in on the leg. He's turned into his own attack.
Well, this has certainly, the warning from our referee Greg Creel has certainly changed the pace of this one. Much more active on the bottom here. Langaker's looking for this leg control.
Yeah, and you got to remember it was Max who initiated the guard pull as well.
Yeah.
And now looking at passing.
Really nice X-guard passing, just doing a great job of keeping his weight on the front leg, and now he's able to clear the hooks, get to a good half guard.
Yeah, Chris needs to do a better job, like get his frames back in front. Like at the moment he's a bit complacent, just kind of waiting here.
Doesn't even have a knee shield or a butterfly hook to try and off balance.
Yeah, now if Max can start freeing up his knee line, he's going to be in a great position to cut to the knee slide, cut over towards mount.
He's trying to turn this near side hip down.
Yeah. Entering into the butterfly guard, but then Max going straight into that body lock almost and stepping over the knee.
Max showing some good passing, but lost a big advantage that he had here. Let Chris get those butterfly hooks back in. And passing this top butterfly hook, stepping over to the far side like Max is doing is usually the better way to go. When you try back step out of that butterfly hook, it gives the bottom player a chance to off balance you a little bit more.
Yeah, it gives you that hip. Chris did a great job of defending it though.
Really
Max
good.
got like a little bit too high in the hip, and then Chris was able to redirect it and get out from underneath him. But Max is the person on top pushing forwards. Chris is the person who's being forced to defend the whole time.
Yeah, he was making Langaker's carry a lot of weight with the chest pressure here. Into the final minute of the first period.
It's one of the things that makes it so hard to pass the guard. You need to have every little bit of space closed off, because even one little spot, you can get a knee back in, get a butterfly hook back in.
Max choosing to go to the bottom now. Nice tactic though, to be fair, like he was falling back on it. Later stage in the match, not a bad thing to show that you're trying to win. He's had a good, probably 2 minutes of control on top.
Get a submission attempt in the round.
Yep. You know, that kind of negates the earlier attack of Chris.
Ooh. Cheeky little corkscrew footlock coming in there. Well, they're both trading leg entries from the top passing position.
We don't see as much of those corkscrew footlocks or steamer locks from the top anymore as we used to.
Nice little sweep attempt right at the bottom from Chris. I think it was out of time when he actually hit the deck.
Yeah.
But well, let's take a look at some of the action. And guys, tell me how you're feeling about the way the judges are looking at that first round.
I think Max was leading the way in terms of the control and the attacks. Even when he was on top, Chris did a good job of defending and little off balances, but Max was the one who controlled for most of the round. Nice little threat there from Chris at the end with that footlock, but I don't think it'll do anything for his chances to win the round, besides give him a bit more confidence for the next.
The winner of round number 1, Chris Langaker.
Wow, the judges have chosen Chris Langaker's for the first period win.
Interesting. They may have just assumed that he was the one who was doing more, right? I mean, we were talking a lot about being heavy on top and putting the pressure in, but was Max actually doing stuff from that point? You know, judges seem to have said that no, they feel like Chris was doing the wheel work.
And those couple of submission attempts, I suppose, went a long way in the eyes of the judges too.
Do we feel that any of the leg submission attempts were particularly deep at any point?
I think that probably Chris's corkscrew one was the deepest. It forced the defense.
I think so.
We're into a false sweep here. Now Chris jumping on the front headlock.
Yeah, trying to get a little almost 10-finger guillotine in, but now he's got to fight the body lock attempt again.
I think that decision in the first round has given Max a bit more urgency now.
Yeah.
Our next Polaris Open event, or Polaris PSG event is coming up August 30th in London. We do have confirmed events for the rest of the year, though, in Birmingham, Bristol, Barcelona, and Utrecht. Talk about those in detail shortly.
Max trying to pass this half butterfly guard here using the over back grip.
Yeah, I think one of the things we were talking about is, if Max isn't necessarily like a super fast player, like he's got a lot of good pressure, and so if he starts to up the work rate, that's not necessarily his game. It's not necessarily where he wants to be.
That's true.
Is he as capable of maintaining that pace, and is he going to give more options to Chris to initiate attacks as well?
I think Max wants to get that right foot inside the inside position here so he can say, yeah, and look, he's looking for it now. He couldn't do it before because Chris was hugging the leg, but now he's freed up to try and get that inside position back and help him pass easier.
Yeah, I think we have to say, though, is this, like, how would we score this in the judges' favor? Like, is that actually anything? Like, all he did was step his leg over and Chris immediately recovered. And then Chris sat up, initiated the guillotine straight away.
What's he got to do to progress this body lock position here?
He needs to find a way to control Chris's hips a little better, because every time Chris is off balancing him, it's because his hips are tilted sideways a bit, off the ground a little bit. And now using this left foot inside, as Max tried there, that's going to be one way that he can pin the hips to the mat, and then he can start to work his control up to the shoulders and past the legs.
Yeah, Chris did a nice job of underhooking that leg and locking in the grip, which, shuts down a lot of the work from Max, or Max's ability to step over and generate pressure, and potentially allows Chris a decent off balance too.
He's doing nice body lock passing here, but just missing a little bit of the control on the hips. Like, there's always two parts to every move. There's the movement itself, but then the control that comes along with it. He's moving really well, but just missing a little bit of that hip control to be successful with it.
Yeah, you kind of saw it there when he jumped to the other side, right? Chris was able just to reinsert the butterfly hook, and then, the jump looked great, but didn't actually get him any further on the pass.
That's kind of an admission that things are feeling a bit difficult. You want to skip to the end, but it hardly ever works out.
Well, again, he's trying to dig for these underhooks and stay tight down to the hips here. Only a minute 30-ish left to work for Max Armstrong if he's going to push this back and force an overtime period. We haven't had one yet tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'd like to see when Max is doing movements like that to put a little bit more pressure on top of Chris, right? He stepped over, cleared the butterfly hooks momentarily, and then didn't really try and really force that pass.
Yeah, the passing looks good, but it's a little bit floaty at the same time. Here now, it looks like he might have a bit better control.
Yeah, he's over that top of the leg as we talked about earlier, right? He's got the knee stapled to the floor, but if he falls back to it now, he's going to give Chris all that space back again, right?
Oh, this feels a little bit better. The legs smashed all the way to the side here with the chest pressure on top. Can he avoid getting elevated, though?
Just taking that little second after he got the hook to stabilize it, I think, has helped his passing in the last 30 seconds a lot.
Well, if he could complete the pass, that would probably edge him the round, but as it is, it's a bit of a pick-em.
I think the referee was also telling him to pick up the work rate a little bit, not just hold, right? That is something that we want to see on the show, is people actually moving to the next stage. This is much better from Max. Like, he's almost over the top.
Needs to insist on this.
Yeah, and he needs to go straight back to it as well. Like, not just stop here.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Just the unexpected change of beat.
Yeah.
Just a different pace.
Same here, like, immediately lock down the upper body, step over the leg, try and force the pass.
Yeah, the jiu-jitsu equivalent of shot, reshot, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to go to the judges for their deliberation. We'll look at the replays. Could we see a third period?
I don't know. Again, it's one of those very close rounds that I think Chris had probably some of the better attacks. Like, entered, but Chris dealt with it quite well.
It's always a tricky one to judge when one person wants to be on bottom, the other person wants to be on top, and they're both kind of
Ladies and
stalemated.
gentlemen, your winner of round number 2, Max Armstrong. We will now go to a third and deciding round.
So yeah, we do have that overtime.
We have our first overtime period here to see who is going to take the win. And it's a shortened round, of course, in our overtime. It's 3 minutes. And just for a reminder, folks, these preliminary bouts are under the same rule set as the first couple of rounds of our welterweight Grand Prix.
I mean, that was a nice sweep from Max, you know, able to come up on top. I actually kind of feel like this shorter round should favor Chris, who's a more frantic player.
Yeah, he can explode more for the leg entries, explosive off balance, explosive entry, and try and stack up a few of those and then defend the guard for the rest of the round.
Yeah, it looks like he stepped over to mount.
And that is what he spent 5 minutes trying to do in the previous round. He's accomplished in the first 30 seconds here.
I mean, in the last round, he was, you know, putting a lot of pressure down on Chris. Maybe Chris just got a little bit too tired.
That's the advantage of playing a little bit slower as well. You get a chance to feel your opponent's responses a bit more, and you can almost self-correct easier in the moment. And we've seen that there straight away. Starting the next round, he's able to finish the pass finally.
We haven't really touched on it yet, and it may become a factor in some of our main card later, but we are, of course, in the middle of a heat wave here in Europe and the UK, and that means that these guys are getting very sweaty very quickly.
They're not struggling to warm up backstage anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if Chris wants to win this, he needs to get busy on bottom, like start offsetting Max's balance, like just staying flat, not really working isn't helping him out. But then does he have the energy to do that?
Well, he's only got 1 minute and 30 seconds, and he's assuredly behind here, so time is ticking away.
And he has his frame across the hip on the bottom, Chris. Oh, I was just about to say, we'll probably see him going for some kipping escapes there and slip back to the butterfly guard, which he's done.
Yeah, he needs to take initiative now and really put the pressure on Max to get it back. Like, he can't be just kind of slowly setting up his attack from butterfly guard. He needs to push the pace. But immediately Max goes back to that body lock, starts shutting him down.
And Max is clearly very technical with his passing.
Yeah.
He might have a bit slower a pace to get some explosive type pass, but it's very hard to get a full attack off on him at the same time.
And he's passed again.
Yeah, one more time into mount.
Great pass. He's been working his control up higher to the shoulders a lot quicker this round, starting with the body lock. As soon as he gets over the knee, control comes up to the shoulders to pin them, and then he's passed to the mount.
Well, he's causing some aggravation to Langaker here. That forces the defense, and that's just punted him up higher in the mount. 15 seconds left. Armstrong is going to body lock his way to a win here.
Triangle attempt.
Good on him looking for a finish at the end. He knows he's done enough. That's good persistence to come back.
Good triangle attempt at the end. Didn't have time to finish it, but I really feel it put a big stamp on that round and that match overall.
Yeah, I mean, it was really came off that ankle pick at the start. And then he did a good job of actually just changing the pace and stepping into the mount quickly. And then Chris was very, very far down at that point, and he has to push the pace. And unfortunately, Max was able to capitalize on that as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner, Max Armstrong.
Well, Max Armstrong getting the win in overtime. That brings his Polaris record to 1-1. Some very composed, methodical work. I'm sure we'll see him back again on a future prelim card. We still have 5 fights coming your way, live and free on YouTube. Just a reminder, at 6:30 p.m. local time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, we are jumping to FloGrappling for our men's welterweight Grand Prix. I haven't mentioned it all that much, but $30,000, Tom.
Not a bad prize.
Right, $30,000 on the line for our winner. We, of course, have our previous Grand Prix winner, PJ Barch, in the mix, along with our current welterweight champion, Mateusz Szczecinski, Taylor Pearman, Tommy Langaker, whole host of killers. We're obviously going to talk about them in a lot more detail as we get closer to the time. But please do not go anywhere. I hope you're enjoying all the action. Stay with us here.
If you awaken from this illusion and you understand that black implies white, Self implies other. Life implies death, or shall I say, death implies life. You can feel yourself. Not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental.
Let's welcome fighting in the blue corner, Jimmy Wheeler.
So I'm curious to see how this match goes, because Jimmy Wheeler is his debut here on Polaris, and he's got a very experienced domestic black belt in Ben Hobson tonight. But Jimmy Wheeler representing Pedigo Submission Fighting and Impact MMA. I do believe he's got some wins on some international competitions as well that you wouldn't typically see. So this will certainly be an interesting clash of styles at the very least.
And now let's welcome fighting in the red corner, Ben Robson.
Well, good to have Ben Robson back. We haven't seen him for a little while, but he's been on Polaris 3 times before. He usually puts on an excellent performance. He's very physically well conditioned all the time. He's got a great wrestling background as well. He owns British catch wrestling championship belts as well. And he's medaled at Nogi Euros as well. Training for 14 years.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 85.2 kilos. Representing Impact MMA, Pedigo Submission Fighting, and WBJJA. From the United Kingdom, introducing Jimmy Wheeler. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 82.2 kilos. Representing Faber, Jiu-Jitsu, and Mavericks, from Wales, Ben Robson.
Now, interestingly, both of these two, their last competition was the same event. It was the Naga UK Championships, and Ben said he won it and it was too easy. So, let's see how we go here. Quick pick up into the single. Ooh. Big slam
Yeah, Ben has got some great wrestling. He's been training in wrestling for quite a long time. Fun fact is, like, the first time I ever saw a false sweep was because of Ben. He did it on Polaris before it was cool. He was at like a Lachlan Giles seminar, and Lachlan was showing it. And yeah, he brought it onto the big show. He's put on a really good show that was all guard based, actually, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's a very physically imposing grappler.
Great start here. Takedowns, passing, good controlled high pace.
Yeah, looking for a crucifix there momentarily.
Using the Kimura grip to keep control here.
Yeah, Wheeler's trying to get his back to the mat, but and a nice
Yeah,
retention
this
from
could be on.
Robson. Looked like he was going to get the single arm choke for a second. Wheeler's having a grip fight for all he's worth here, and there is a lot of time still to go in this one.
Did well using the choke to at least get the hooks for the control.
Yeah, Jimmy's almost was out for a second, like got his back very well to the floor, but Ben's done a great job of resetting through and getting to the back again. Now almost into like a tighter position as well.
He's moving a lot for the back control here.
Yeah.
Normally back control you try and almost tame the person, try and calm them down and make them feel stuck.
Oh, well, let's see if he can lock up this head and arm.
Well, it's kind of more like a Rottola team position that he's working, the kind of Nogi.
This is looking tight here.
Ezekiel.
Lots of people yell at me when I call it a Rottola scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, they didn't do it first.
It's true, they didn't.
But if you popularize it, is it even better?
Well,
Ben also doesn't have the same arm length as the Rottolas.
Switches off
this
to the
is
armbar.
true. And they're going to come up on mount. This is a lot of pressure from Robson.
Almost.
Oh, he's in the saddle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be tricky
Needs
for
to
him.
keep turning.
His knee line
think
is
he's
well
out.
and well. Let's see. He's shaking his head no.
But, I mean, they don't really have an option but to reset from this position, unfortunately. I think they'll probably end up restarting them standing, because that was in our cameraman.
Yeah. I think Ben slipped the knee anyway just before they paused the action.
Oh, what are they? Yeah, this is an interesting one for the referee to try and...
It's a tough restart.
Just compromise and start in the X guard.
Oh. I think you're right. Perhaps starting in a neutral standing position would have been the safer option.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the leg caught anymore. I think Ben had cleared it by the time they reset.
Well, easy pass.
Nice movement on top. Ben's using a great job of allowing kind of Jimmy to move underneath him and just staying in control. Like, he's not trying to stop him moving. He's following him around the mat.
He's using those gift wraps and Kimura grips as well to try and take the back and control.
We'll see how the energy levels are if this continues for Jimmy Wheeler as we move into round number 2.
It's hard when you're carrying the person's weight, like moving, you're moving twice the body weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a middleweight bout, which it feels like a heavier weight class than Ben Robson typically competes in.
Well, I think he started off as like a featherweight and he just packed on a ton of muscle and got some size, and now he's like a solid middleweight.
I feel like he was doing a PhD in strength and conditioning or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was a physio if I remember correctly, but yeah, he was doing something along those lines.
He's putting some squeeze on here now.
Jimmy, I mean, he looks relatively tight, but he doesn't look too phased either.
No, very calm and composed is Jimmy Wheeler in defense here.
It almost looked like Ben was going for that, what's it called, the
reverse.
The farce, right?
Well, I was calling it an inverted dart, and then everyone at my gym was annoying me saying, well, actually, anaconda choke is a reverse dart, so...
That's true. Look at this. This is very tricky.
Yeah, I think the kids are calling it a farce. But yeah, like, I think, again, Ben doesn't have the longest arms, and some of those things are, limb dependent.
Even attacking the arm bars is kind of a iffy move against someone who's very short and stocky themselves as well.
We're in legs again here, and Robson are going to roll through.
Robson
be a good attack here.
Trying to create the pressure against the hip.
If he can go belly down or bring his top shoulder towards the mat.
Credit to Wheeler. He has been on defense the whole time, but he has defended everything.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of coming back now as well, and he doesn't look particularly gassed
fatigued.
either.
No.
Yeah,
he's very solid.
Thank you to our partners Reorg. Reorg work with retired military, police and emergency service personnel suffering from PTSD by introducing them to Jiu-Jitsu. For more information, visit reorgcharity.com.
Tiring round for Ben also.
Yeah, I mean, Ben looks kind of fine too, in all honesty. A little bit red, but like, you know.
Well, like you sort of alluded to in one of the earlier matches, it's easier to throw a lot of energy out when you're winning.
Nice entry into the knee bar.
Well, that is round number 1 taken care of. It's almost certainly going to go the way of Ben Robson, but some good signs of life from Jimmy Wheeler.
Yeah, I mean, neither of them look particularly more tired than the other coming back, you know?
Yeah, it's impressive. Some good defense and also gave some good leg attacks to end the round, just so Ben still has something to think about going into the second.
Yeah, I mean, Ben really did have the first probably 4 minutes of that match was just him working through different transitions. Maybe if it slowed down a little bit, he might have had more success, but I think he's out here trying to put on a show. And he's now decided to go, well, I'm not going to ruin the surprise for everybody.
Winner of round number 1, Ben Robson.
As expected, Ben Robson takes it on the judges' scorecards. We've got 5 more minutes coming now for Jimmy Wheeler to try and work his way back into it.
What's the rationale behind the wardrobe change, you think?
I don't know, like to me
it's black and it's hot.
Yeah, to me that's not necessarily a great sign. When you start stripping down, it kind of indicates that you weren't that comfortable. But again, it gets a relatively easy takedown and is in on that front headlock now.
Well, building some height is Wheeler. Good job getting back to the feet. Let's see if Robson can snap him down again. Oh, nice trip.
Yeah, just pulling Jimmy back to his hip. Now, Jimmy using that kind of, I don't know what we'd call that position. Popularized by Shane Curtis, right? Trying to work in towards the goth lock. I'm sure he's got a name for it.
Some octopus action. He's definitely good at the stand-up style escapes.
Yeah. But the problem is, I think Ben is the better wrestler on the feet.
Yeah.
Like, he's shown that a couple of times, the ease that he's able to get Jimmy to the ground.
Even now when Ben passes guard, instead of attacking the turtle and trying to take the back, he just wants to pin him in the side control and see can he attack Kimura's from there.
Yeah, you can see in that, like, that exchange, Ben just stuffed it and shoved his hips in, stopped the takedown, and now he's into the front headlock again.
Just a lot of pressure on the neck, forcing Wheeler down to this turtle position.
Better control from Ben here now. He's kind of figuring out some of the unorthodox escapes that Jimmy's throwing.
Well, this will definitely be an easier reset than the first time.
That's what I was thinking as well. Our cameraman probably feels way safer too.
Body lock control here. We might see him go over to the mount.
Ben trying to put on a wrestling match.
Yeah, a wry smile from Jimmy Wheeler as well. Seems very game for it.
I know Ben also trains a couple of MMA fighters, right? One of his students, I think it's Summer, is in the UFC.
I'm drawing a blank for you there, Tom. I'm sorry.
He definitely has a big wrestling advantage on the feet anyway.
Oh, they're definitely having fun out there.
Almost just basically walked around Jimmy's guard there, right? Jimmy couldn't rotate the hips. Ben just kind of slowly worked through.
That heavy base that people get from wrestling and judo, it's so annoying when you feel it in person.
Good little scramble back to his feet, and of course Robson is happy to let him stand up.
Beautiful little foot sweep from Ben. Really well timed.
Oh, again, timing on the pass attempt.
I think he's given up on the idea of taking the back and getting a submission. He just wants to put some takedown highlights there.
Yeah, I think Jimmy doesn't have the best ground game off the bottom, right? So he wants to play on top, but unfortunately he can't get Ben to his back.
In fairness to Jimmy, he's been all action as well. He hasn't got tired. He's been a game opponent. He's standing up and wrestling with Ben, even though he clearly has the advantage there.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure he has a choice, though, right?
That's true.
He wants to be on top. He wants to play this position. But then when he does stand up, Ben has got the advantage in that game as well.
Well, he's looking for a scoop grip under this leg, but he's meeting a big crossface at the same time.
I'd like Ben to work for the submission, right? Like if you want to put on a performance, finish strong, finish with a submission, right?
For me, that's more impressive as well than just trying to land a few extra foot sweeps.
Yeah, like there, he could have jumped through the armbar, right? He could have thrown over the top. Same here. There, this kind of movement, right? Like stamp it, show your kind of...
Crucifix into a smother with the arms trapped.
A smother crucifix.
Oh my goodness, what a submission this would be.
And works towards the arm now.
Oh, he got the... Oh, that...
Did he?
Oh, I think he tapped right at the buzzer.
I think he tapped at the buzzer as well.
That was so close.
I don't know, did he?
I think so, yeah.
It was definitely a tap. It was just a question whether it was right before the buzzer or not.
I was just about to say Jimmy's defense was frustrating Ben more than he was letting on.
If he won by crucifix smother, I'd be like, give him the Warrior of the Night £1,000 bonus right now. Take a look back at some of the replays.
Yeah, you see that snatch single. Ben did a great job on his feet. It's really, really nice clear takedowns. You know, transitioning around towards the back. And then this was right at the end. He got that crucifix position, chose to smother, and then as Jimmy kind of exploded out, he switched it over towards the armbar. And then
he did tap.
I think he did get the tap before.
Yeah. I think it was just before the buzzer.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to an armbar submission, Ben Robson.
At 4 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 2. 59 and a half seconds. Ben Robson gets another win here on Polaris. Fun performance from him. Contender for Warrior of the Night bonus, perhaps, gents?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure we'll see him back again on another preliminary card. Lots more action still to come. One more quick commercial break, then we'll be right back here, Matt side.
Grand Prix winner PJ Barch returns. And this time, welterweight champion Mateusz Szczecinski is waiting. Along with the best 170-pound grapplers in the world. Also featuring super fight, Sarah Galvao versus Zara Di Stefano for the bantamweight title. The Polaris 38 Grand Prix live on FloGrappling.
Let's welcome, fighting out of the blue corner, Ash Gibson.
So Ash Gibson, 30 years old, brown belt, makes his way to the mat here, representing Gracie Barra Birmingham and RRBJJ. Has some good domestic wins. Don't believe we've seen him on Polaris before.
And now let's welcome, fighting at the red corner, Cormac Anderson.
So fellow brown belt Cormac Anderson, originally from Bristol, just down the road, but currently lives in Cyprus. He's a software engineer by day, brown belt by night. Originally started training jiu-jitsu while he was at university in Swansea, along with one of our very prestigious Polaris veterans, Ash Williams. He has been on Polaris once before, all the way back at Polaris 25, 3 years ago.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 93.9 kilos. Representing Gracie Barra Birmingham and RR Jiu-Jitsu. From the United Kingdom, Ash Gibson.
Guys, you got kind of
and now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 93.9 kilos. Representing Checkmat Limassol and Elite Jiu-Jitsu Somerset. From the United Kingdom, introducing Cormac Anderson.
Well, I apologize for interrupting our MC, Michael Vale there. What I was going to say is we've got to think about what's the mindset for Ash Gibson coming into this. He's fought Cormac 3 times before, and he's never won.
I think you need to do something different, something surprising, and just do it with full confidence straight away. Don't go into the patterns of the old matches, because then Cormac's going to be full of confidence that he can just do the same thing again.
In case you can't tell, we have moved up to the light heavyweight division for this one.
Sometimes these collar tie battles almost feel like pressuring the other person into pulling guard. Like, I don't really want to take you down, but I want to club your head so many times that you just sit down.
I mean, that was a solid club from Ash Gibson. It was almost on cue for you, Tom.
Oh, I'd sit down.
Now, this fight is brought to you by Warrior, creators of the world's tastiest protein bar. Try Warrior Crunch today. Trying to underhook past his way through this and gets his foot caught.
Yeah, it looks like Ash is, Cormac is almost already out of this position, though.
Can Ash use the sweep? He does. Very nice. Cormac standing up.
Yeah, needs to be careful of back rolling out of positions, you know. You never want to show your back to your opponent.
Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous, but survived. Don't forget, you can get involved on social media at Polaris Pro Grappling. Let us know what you think of tonight's card. Of course, do follow along for all of the action coming up later on FloGrappling, our Polaris 38 main card. Got a few previews of what you might see coming up September for ADCC World Championships. Of course, that is live and exclusive on FloGrappling as well.
I feel like Cormac needs to actually do something at the moment. He's not really set anything up. He's not really done much.
Just some hard collar ties from both.
Yeah, I mean, Cormac's not even really done that. He's just kind of defending what Ash is doing. Even when Ash pulled guard, he didn't really progress the position.
And using quite a bit of energy at the same time to not accomplish much, which that's not really a great sign in the tournaments.
Yeah. A grimace on the face as he tries to punch a big underhook, but shrugged off fairly easily by Gibson, who looks very calm right now.
Sometimes having a few wins over someone in the past can almost be a bit of a curse, because there's nothing more tiring than a match being more difficult than you expect. So if you think you're going to come out and win again handy, and the other person's improved a lot, or maybe your conditioning isn't where it was before, things can really start to spiral against you then.
I also suspect this is obviously the first time they've had a match under these particular conditions and rule set as well.
Yeah.
Which may stylistically favour one more than the other. It's a lot of heavy ties on the feet here, though.
Yeah, Cormac really trying to punch those underhooks through. Looks like he's trying to get to the body lock position. I kind of like Ash to sit down to the guard again, you know, and like try and work from there.
He had good success with it.
Yeah. Because now he's not really doing much on the feet either. Same thing, he's just doing those heavy collar ties and defending Cormac. And I think they're going to get the warning because of this as well.
I wonder if Ash just thinks, I'm up in this round. If we just jab back and forth on the feet, I'll win the round. I can tire him out a little bit more.
Oh, good pick up to the single here into the body lock, and that's an interesting transition.
Very nice from Cormac.
Yeah, really nice movement on top. The connection between the single and then the underhook, and then, you know, allowing Ash to almost give up the pass, basically.
And now all of Ash's good work throughout the round is kind of undone in the space of 10 seconds.
Yeah, but a good sequence from Ash can definitely pull him back into it, right? This has been the only real thing that Cormac has done.
Yeah.
Well, he uses the kipping escape to try and get out. Good movement from Gibson, but he's not going to retain that clean top position, or at least not without struggle.
Yeah, and he can't quite keep the hips elevated enough to prevent the pass towards north-south. Cormac doing a good job of pinning that bottom leg.
And keeping it at a pace that he likes. You can see he likes a bit more of the frantic pace, so he can start. When Ash is defending the guard, he just changes direction. He doesn't even try pin, he just, boom, switches the side back and forth.
So first round done and dusted. Well, it was looking like it was going one way, and it might have just switched back the other there. Take a look at some of the replays. I really want to see the transition off that takedown attempt.
Yeah, it's just as Ash went down, right? Ash started to fall, like look towards his guard, and Cormac punched the underhook up, and then utilized that just to kind of almost bully Ash into the bottom position.
Your winner of round number 1, Cormac Anderson.
I think we'll see Cormac going immediately back to that snatch single again.
Yeah, he just got good head position as he came forward.
Some of the competitors tonight seem very hesitant to shoot in, like knees on the ground, shoot in, risk getting caught in a guillotine. Those type of single legs where you can stay standing, really effective.
Yeah, it's almost like they've become too kind of fascinated with this like deep underhook position.
Yeah.
Well, good work on the takedown from Anderson.
There's a lot to be said for efficient takedowns like that. You're not going to risk getting countered or caught in any submission. You're not going to expend a lot of energy if it fails. And you can spam it as many times as you want.
Again, he's trying to stop the scoop grip here, and Gibson inverting to get his legs across. Does earn himself back to seated guard here. And nice of them to reset without being asked.
And finally, Ash gets a bit of a chance to breathe on the ground. Now is his chance to actually set up his own grips before Cormac puts him on his back, as he's done now, and then start chaining passes side to side.
Yeah, Cormac's just able to get into those inside spaces, and Ash isn't quite as disciplined as he should be in preventing it.
Well, he has to defend the back take here, and he does. Can he pull him over the top?
Could end up on top here, which would be a good position for Ash, but Cormac
Good escape.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Anderson says no thank you. Does have to defend the guillotine, though.
Now Cormac jumping back past the legs again. Into a crucifix as well.
Just a bit more clarity in his game overall. Like when we see Ash seated up in the guard and finally he has an opportunity to go to the guard he likes, make a grip he likes. Instead he waits for Cormac to insist his game, and then he's back to defending again, which is never going to go well in the long run.
Oh, he had a good chance there to get his head up through the gap.
Yeah,
Kind of classic wrestling.
Nice little Turk over the top. I think this is going to be tricky to finish this triangle here. Ash's head's almost already out.
Unless your name is Braulio Estima, these are very hard to finish.
Yeah.
Well, Gibson with a bite on the front here, but not able to seize it, and he just feels fatigued now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he was kind of a little bit hesitant to shoot because he was so close to the edge, and then Cormac just used that as the time to...
Another good opportunity for Ash that kind of switches into an opportunity for Cormac in the space of 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think Ash would have been better just to bring it back to the center of the mat.
Anderson trying to get the crowd involved a little bit.
Can he off balance here before trying to take the back? He made a mistake earlier on trying to jump up in the back without off balancing first, and he slipped off the top.
Yeah, he almost did it there.
Yeah,
Ash.
Same again.
In on a crucifix again.
Because Turtle is a surprisingly good defensive position.
Yeah.
Fairly athletic position. It's always good off balance the person a little bit and then start to take the back.
Straight through one of our sponsor boards.
Our expensive digital scoreboards.
Yeah.
Or digital media boards.
This is a much better round for Ash, though. It's actually a relatively close round. I'd be interested to see how they score this, because I feel like he's actually done a lot more of the work than Cormac has done.
Yeah, this really could be pushing towards a third here, but there's still a lot to play for.
Cormac's taking some big, deep breaths as well. Ash looks a little bit the fresher of the two.
A lot of the attacks Ash has got have come off Cormac being a bit overzealous attacking, like slipping off the back and ending up in a bad position.
Yeah, and then Cormac's, shooting for that arm drag into single, which is quite a lot of energy. It's quite an energy dependent move. Ash trying to sit underneath him, I think.
Oh, can he sweep and come up on top? Not quite. And this is where he's been struggling for a lot of this round, is the kind of late recovery off of these efforts.
But now he's back in the turtle, and we've seen him reverse from this position a number of times.
Yeah. Arming guillotine attempt.
This looks tight. Especially late in the match.
Nice little wound on the head from crashing into that scoreboard. So, time expires. Judges have a decision to render. Are we going to see a third, or is Cormac Anderson going to take the bout here? Let's take a look back at some of the action from that second period.
It's that arm drag into single. Cormac hit it quite a few times, or at least attempted to. That time he managed to get the takedown. He definitely had some good moments in this match, in that round.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner, Cormac Anderson.
So Cormac Anderson able to assert his game the better over the 10-minute period. He's going to take yet another win over Ash Gibson. Didn't have it all his own way, though. We have a ladies match coming up next in the featherweight division. We've got some heavyweights on deck after that. And another flyweight bout. Still, of course, the $30,000 Grand Prix is coming up a little bit later, and our women's bantamweight belt. Continued coverage of our prelims here, live and free on YouTube, coming up after this quick message.
Guardian started in 2015 with one simple belief: Jiu-Jitsu can change the direction of a young person's life. Not because it magically fixes everything, but because it gives something real. A place to go, a coach who knows their name, friends who hold them accountable, and a reason to keep showing up. What started as a small idea has now grown into 36 academies around the world, supporting over 1,000 underserved youth training at zero cost. Some of these programs are in major cities, some are in remote communities most people will never hear about. But the mission is the same everywhere. Give kids access to training, mentorship, discipline, and a community that believes in them. Over the next 5 years, our goal is to help over 10,000 young people train under the Guardian banner. Because while potential is everywhere, opportunity isn't. And every kid deserves the chance to train, grow, and be part of a team.
Let's welcome, fighting in the blue corner, Buffy Price.
Oh, we welcome first to the mat Buffy Price, 26 years old, from Glasgow, Scotland. Originally got into the sport to learn to defend herself, and then she's picked up some medals at Nogi Euros and Nogi Worlds along the way in the coloured belts.
And now let's welcome, fighting in the red corner, Mateusz Murphy.
You can hear the crowd chant of Mad Dog, that is her nickname. Mateusz Murphy, 25 years old, from Torquay in Devon. Currently a purple belt. She's had some really good competitive success in the UK. Familiar to the Polaris PSG system as well, picking up absolute wins in gi and no gi there. Representing Fightworks Academy. Both these ladies said they think this is going to be an extremely fun match.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, official weight 62.4 kilos. Representing Meditech Grappling Academy from Scotland, Buffy Price. And now let's welcome her opponent, fighting out of the red corner. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 65.3 kilos. Representing Fightworks Academy from the United Kingdom, introducing Mateusz Murphy.
So I've commentated on Madison a number of times, and she's a very, like, good at winning. Like, it's the only way to describe it. She figures out a way to win when she's in tough matches. And she's been on a lot of the Southwest shows, things like Tanto, and done incredibly solid performances.
That's an underrated skill as well, just being able to win ugly and being well-rounded so that you can find a different way to win when your A game doesn't work.
Buffy was another one of the girls who was in the Polaris PSG to actually fight against Sarah Gaval, who we'll see later. I think she ended up coming third in the event.
She's got some work to do from this half guard position here. Looks like a lot of pressure coming down from Murphy on top.
Tough for Buffy to enter the legs then when Madison is putting good pressure like that and showing good awareness of the leg entries too.
Yeah, she looks kind of tense as well. Like she's a bit like a coiled spring, right?
Yeah. That can telegraph some of the entries as well. You see a lot of the best people, they're very smooth and relaxed, and then bop, you just get caught in the entry out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's trying to wrestle up here. She's got to be a little bit careful.
Madison just sprawling out hard.
This is always an interesting battle between person on top attacking, trying to free their knee, and person on bottom trying to stay safe and finish a sweep or a takedown from there.
Madison's got that leg free and now behind the hips.
Really good base for Madison on top.
Yeah.
Let's see if she can open up this turtle position at all, find a route to the back. Looks like she's got one hook in.
Nice. She's got the first hook. She's trying to pull that shoulder away from the hip. Buffy done a good job of getting on top, though.
Yeah, she's managed to get the reversal here, looking to step all the way over, and she lands in side control. Great work from Buffy Price.
But then Madison immediately reversed out. Buffy looking at transitioning towards the back now.
Very similar movements from both on top and bottoms. Interesting exchanges.
I think Madison's just trying to stand up out of the position. But kind of went a little bit too soon, and Buffy's managed to get that one hook in.
Focus on control now until the position is set and then attack the neck.
Yeah. She's using that power half.
Yeah.
Madison doing a good job of scrambling, avoiding the back control.
The same thing happened with Madison. She was a bit too focused on the choke before she had full control, and then Buffy slipped out of it.
So a little bit of blood from the nose of Buffy Price here, but she resumes in mount position. Murphy trying to post up and find a way out. She's giving a back up, though, and heavy, heavy hips coming in.
Squashing the chicken.
Should switch off to an armbar here.
Yeah, it's looking to get, let's see where she's going. She's gone foot in front of the face instead of shin on the back of the neck.
Madison now passing the hips and in towards the body lock herself. It's like a back and forth body lock exchange, right?
Madison just looks very physical with her escapes. Yep. She's really dealing with them early and giving a good, strong response. Armbar is always a tough one to pull off against that style opponent.
Yeah. I mean, Madison did a great job of pinning that bottom leg to just shut down Buffy's actual attack. And now Buffy ending up on top.
Again,
and we saw that beautiful passing from her before. Now into a cradle and back behind the hips.
Yeah, back to the turtle again.
Again, though, this is something we mentioned a few times earlier. There wasn't a delay in doing any of that, right? It was just like, I'm going to straighten on the sequence. I'm not going to let her take a beat.
Yeah, both girls are doing a great job of kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but then one of them makes a mistake and they give up that position and it's back to
escape.
Yeah.
This is like a turtle positional round nearly.
Yeah, right. Very, very even back and forth between these two. The judges are going to have to give it to someone, though. I mean, you figured the mount position for...
Yeah, Buffy's had, technically, she's been in the better positions. Like, she had the mount, she had both hooks in on the back for numerous times. And now she's got this triangle in the armbar, so I wouldn't be surprised if it went towards her if it stays like this.
Well, 9 seconds. This, well, there you go. Pulled out. It was a very good attempt at the armbar, though. What a great first round from these two women. They're going to get a quick minute back in the corners and potentially another 5. Let's take a look back at what I'm sure will be an abundance of body locks and turtles.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of the initial entry from Buffy. Really well stuffed by Maddie. But then Maddie got a little bit too excited as she was going for the back, and Buffy managed to get her hips higher. And then she passed, set to the armbar, and Maddie escaped, or went behind their hips.
And repeat.
And repeat, yeah.
Whoever can adjust their turtle game now going into the next round.
Round number 1, Buffy Price.
Buffy taking the win there, but I think whoever can be more successful now from the turtle in this round, they can focus a bit more on control instead of the submission and letting the person slip out. That'll probably be the person who'll win the round.
Yeah. I think Buffy just in those exchanges actually got to the better position. She had the both hooks and the mount, and that's what really decided. And she obviously had the submission threat as well.
Oh, good throw by there from Price, and she manages to hustle down to the ground. She ends up in close guard, though.
Nice leg entry here.
She's trying to step behind the armbar.
And she controlled the knee.
Oh, she has got a good bite on the knee here. Oh, and she gets the hips on top. Just not quite able to find that angle for the knee bar, trying to snatch the heel hook.
This could be tied.
Yeah. It's almost like Maddie would do a better job of leveling up her control a little bit before she attacks that foot. She's in a pretty tight position here.
Yeah, I thought Price had a lot of weight on that foot, but she opted to throw in another defensive roll, and that sat her down to her hip here.
This is where the ankle lock can actually work a bit better than the heel hook sometimes. Pull the knee back in, and then you can have the leverage to finish.
Yeah, it looks like Buffy's going on her own footlock at this point. Again, I don't know how the referee's going to reset this.
The referee is going to let them keep going for the moment. I'm sure as soon as that grip loosens, they will stop. There we go.
Yeah, really nice exchange. Good, I would say a good bite on the leg for Maddie.
Well, they are going to go for a slightly more complex reset again.
Maddie again in on the knee bar.
Now she has a good control.
And she gets the submission. She didn't seem to realize she got it. And then she's surprised herself. We're just waiting for the official decision. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replays of that round. Good throw by from Price.
Much quicker round there. We saw a lot more action from the bottom, and Madison adjusted after the first attack. She lost the knee, and on the second one you can see she really pulled the leg in towards her head, and then she was able to just apply pressure with her hips and get the finish.
Yeah, she adjusted nicely to go for that knee bar rather than go for the heel hook.
She's just seen the replay of herself and having a good chuckle about it. Let's go ahead and make the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to a knee bar submission, Madison Murphy.
With plenty of support, Matt's side, Madison Murphy gets the win here in her Polaris debut. Commiserations to Buffy Price. That was a really fun scrap, gents.
That was a great match. I thoroughly enjoyed that back and forth action, and the turtle attacks trading turtles was wonderful.
More action still to come. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back here, Matt's side.
let's welcome fighting at the blue corner, Tanka.
Well, Tanka makes his way to the mat here, originally from Brazil. Now lives stateside, representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu HQ. He's got 2 World Championships, 2 European Championships, 6 times Pan American champion, and he's won Brasileiras a couple of times as well. So this is going to be a very, very tough match for the local man, Mark Hibbard.
And now let's welcome fighting in the red corner, Mark Hibbard.
So Mark Hibbard makes his way to the mat. Originally from Bath, now based in Bristol. He's 30 years old. He's had a bit of success domestically, but he appreciates this is a massive opportunity for him. He did compete at ADCC trials, but, and I quote, he said he got bored to death by the Russians. Direct quote.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, official weight 99 kilos. Representing Atos HQ from Brazil. Let's welcome corner. He stands 6 feet tall, official weight 104 kilos. Representing RR Brazilian Academy from the United Kingdom, introducing Mark Hibbard.
Heavyweights, in case you hadn't guessed, about 220 pounds and 228 pounds on deck here. And some aggressive work on top quickly from Hibbard. Gets a high leg to the face for his troubles.
Nice palms to the face there, start off the match.
Yeah, you can see that Nato was already a little bit phased by those and complaining.
Yeah, he's saying he got eye poked here.
It is a bit unnecessary, in fairness.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Here we go. Well, tough to tell. Could have been the right thumb.
I just wonder what the strategy is with that. Is it just to
I think it's just
annoy your opponent as much as you can get away with?
Exactly.
Hope they overexpose themselves.
And I think he just wants to make it rough and scrappy.
Dirty match.
Yeah.
I think that's the best option. You know, Nata's obviously got a lot of experience. Probably, more experience or a lot more experience than Mark.
If he goes technique for technique, it might not go his way.
Well, that has definitely changed the pace of this one. Let's see if it affects Hibbard at all, or if he just goes straight back to the well on it.
Looks like he's being a bit more disciplined about going towards the top of the head now, which is good.
I'd like to see him reach for the feet a bit more, or actually step to the side, like flank with a bit more purpose. That can be a good way to put someone on their back, but pawing the face and walking away isn't really effective in putting someone flat in their back.
No, and you will absolutely lose the round for doing so.
Yeah, he's also just been told by the referee that he needs to go forwards.
Well, again, that was another solid palm to the face.
And Nato really dived in with that.
Yeah, he's adjusting well.
Yeah.
Staying really sticky with his grips here.
Yeah, he's entered into the leg. Mark looks to be trying to counter-attack.
Well, got very good head position there. It was almost another strike, but he got right to the solar plexus with it. Stayed very low. This is going to be a good test of composure for Tenka, see if he can...
I mean, like, if you fight enough competitions, this is just par for the course.
For sure.
Like, you get clocked, head-butted, punched, eye-poked. It just happens.
Great thing to do if someone is pawing in your face like this. Try and grip the hand they're pawing you with and use that to just pull yourself underneath.
Yeah.
Now he has a bit more control. Let's see what type of guard he chooses against someone. He kind of knows now the way Mark is responding and the type of game that he's showing. Let's see what guard Nata on the bottom chooses and how he goes about it.
Yeah, he's kind of lassoed the top side there.
I mean, but Mark is not going forwards. Like, he's not doing anything to pressure in. And I really wouldn't be surprised if he gets a warning soon, because he's not doing...
So how can he stop him from running away? Or at least use it to his own advantage?
Well, he is getting a warning from the referee here that he has to engage and have some intention to grapple here.
Putting Nata on his back is fine, but then you've got to keep going forwards, right? You can't just pull back out. You can't just hang back.
You should also have some ways on the bottom of not letting someone run away. You know, it's a shame to have to rely on the referee forcing someone to walk forward.
Yeah. I mean, that was not a bad attack, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's going to count as a sweep.
Yeah.
If Mark had been a little bit more insistent on that leg, you know, he could have been in a good position. It really forced Nata to run away.
And when he does step in and go to the half guard, it's not that easy to attack him.
No.
At least he has more opportunity to get maybe a chest to chest or some type of counter attack himself off.
Yeah, but you can see when someone's hanging this far back, right? There's no chest forward. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of waiting and preventing Nata from like reaching underneath the legs or getting any type of upper body connection.
This is better from Mark now.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to keep this kind of pressure going.
Yeah. It's easy to blame Mark for backing off, but at the same time, you do want the bottom player have a bit of control. Don't let the person just go in and out at will like that.
Yeah, I mean, Nata is going forwards, though. Like, he's not just sat in the center of the mat. Like, he's trying to scoot towards Mark, and he's throwing his hooks forwards towards him as well.
Yeah. It's easier said than done, obviously, when you've someone as big and strong as that.
Yeah, I think the only thing that he might like attempt to do is maybe go shin on shin and reaching towards the leg rather than just going supine immediately.
We saw that Kiss the Dragon when he underhooked the inside leg and spun. But now Mark's aware of that. He's just putting the knees flat in the mat.
Well, again, Hibbard disengages.
I think it's going to take something like that.
Yeah.
Reverse De La Riva, Kiss the Dragon. It just lets you stay really stuck to the person. Yeah, and here we go now. Let's see, can he stay sticky and connect it to some other attacks?
Oh, he does do a good job of coming up on top, though, with the leg control. And he's going to look to pass and counter now.
Needs to make the most of this opportunity.
Yeah, they do only have 10 seconds once they restart.
I'm hoping they reset them back in that front headlock position. Because Nata did earn that, right? He's here. Now he should just dive on a guillotine as quick as he possibly can.
Just drop your hip to the mat and go for it.
Like, I don't care if it's not there, but show like you're trying to finish it.
Well, that will be an interesting one for the judges to deliberate on, that's for sure. But signs of life from Nata at the end. A lot of controlling palms to the face. A couple of little leg exchanges here and there. Strictly speaking, they did both earn a sweep apiece.
Technically, Nata got two. He came up from the bottom, got up behind the hips.
Yeah.
The winner of round number one,
corner, Sarah Galvao. She is, of course, up for the vacant women's bantamweight title a little bit later.
Then they got a little bit of a stern talking to from referee Greg.
Let's see, does it make any difference?
Yeah.
The problem is when you felt the other person's game, you just won't let yourself get submitted or get caught up in anything. You just try to rip out of it again at the end of the day.
And as we see the sweat start to glisten a little bit now, it is, of course, very hot here in the UK and the venue itself right now. We should mention, of course, you can see with the graphics on your screen, Nata in the blue corner taking the first period. So I don't expect a huge change of game plan from him.
Yeah, he's trying to use that reverse De La Riva and just stack as many grips as he can on that leg.
Yeah, it looked like he's trying to go full sweep for a second, but Mark pulled out again.
It is very frustrating when all the other person wants to do is rip out of things.
Yeah. This is going to get even harder as well, the more sweaty that they get. It looked like Mark was trying to backstep over the top of the leg then, the way that he presented his hip.
Could see a false reap coming here.
Oh, and he's going to get a formal penalty now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's honestly fair. He's not engaging in the position.
Well, I'm sure as soon as they make a grip, Nata will sit back down again. There you go.
It's not the best ad for jiu-jitsu.
No, but you can understand the frustration and the wanting to give him some gamesmanship back.
Yeah.
I think the big problem is that just Mark's so reluctant to engage anything and go forwards. There's so much circling around the side and then pushing on the head, but there's no...
There we go.
Yeah, and he can, you know, in these scrambles, he's been able to wrestle back up.
Yeah.
A couple of times. He hasn't been in a massive amount of danger at any point, so you'd think that would encourage him to perhaps take a few more chances, knowing he's down on the scorecards.
He's clearly got an edge in the physicality, but maybe he thinks that's the only edge he has, so that's the only thing he's going to use then.
Yeah, I mean, his leg entries haven't been bad, you know.
No.
They've not been bad. Like, he's been able to get to decent positions. Even more so than Nata has.
Yep. Finally, a bit of control now we're seeing.
Yeah.
Only 2 minutes left. Corner of Mark Hibbard reminding him of that, and he definitely has to push forward to try and force the 3-minute overtime here.
Mark should have just continued the pressure there. He was already split the legs. He was inside.
Especially coming into the last minute. Getting tired isn't as much of a concern as it was maybe at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to lose the round. Well, he's going to lose the match regardless, right? Even if he wins this round.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you just hope the athlete says, you know what, I just need to go for it. Just need to empty everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like we're going to see it. Still a minute left.
The other is Nata could engage more as well. Like, he's not standing up. He's not combining the wrestling. He's not really trying to pull in towards the legs.
Yeah, he's almost more threatened of Mark's passing than he should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the danger from Mark at the moment has come from his leg entanglements, not from his passing.
He is looking for them again.
And again, not a bad attack again.
Yeah, it was solid.
Again, though, they are both getting very slick at this point.
Going in towards the full sweep is Nata.
Well, the crowd don't like that he stood up and then immediately sat back down. But he says, hey, that's within the rules. Well, time has expired here. Some big deep breaths from Hibbard. Frustrating match, I think, for everybody involved. Yeah, let's take a look at the replays here. I mean, we do still have a judge's decision to render. It's not a foregone conclusion by any means.
Yeah, a bit more effective at the beginning of that round for Nada. He was able to control, use the reverse De La Riva to spin. But then as the round went on, he almost just accepted that he had the match won.
Yeah.
Mark had a few more nice attacks, but still not enough to do anything meaningful.
I actually think without that point deduction, I think probably Mark would have won
I think so as well, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards, and they see it for your winner, Tanka.
Well, the crowd don't like it, but you can only play the opponent that's in front of you. Final thoughts on that bout, gents?
Frustrating match overall. Would have liked to see a bit more jiu-jitsu from both men, to be honest. But it does show the value in, even when you're playing against someone who's negative on top, the bottom player does need to use certain grips and try and keep control and get some attacks off.
Yeah, I would have loved Mark to just do that from the start, right? I think it's not necessarily his game, like he's a little bit more of a pressure player. But to me, he won that second round without the deduction, without the stall.
Just a little bit too much respect and trepidation for what Tanka was going to do on the bottom.
He could have played the game that he played from the beginning of that round, and then he could have
almost too negative for his own good.
Exactly.
He actually would have had a better chance if he opened up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget that we have a whole slate of events that you can get involved with between our Polaris PSG and Polaris Open cards coming up for the rest of the year. We've got 5 on deck, starting with Barcelona, August 29th, moving on to London, Birmingham and Bristol. There's also an event in the Netherlands in Utrecht in October. And if you're not familiar with our Polaris PSG and Open systems, it is your opportunity to go ahead, compete, and potentially, if you're an elite competitor, compete in a bracket that can get you onto one of these Polaris cards. We have 2 of those competitors who've been through that Contenders series on the PSG events on our main card tonight. Sebastian Patrick competing for $30,000 in one of the best brackets in the world in our welterweight Grand Prix. And of course, Sarah Galval's opponent, Zara Di Tofano, is coming through the women's Contenders bracket. So if you're an elite competitor, it is absolutely a pathway for you to earn your way onto the undercard or potentially a main card. But folks, that's not all. You also have brackets for every age, weight class, sex that can be put together. You can come and compete on our Polaris cards. Guys, the system is great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great thing that they're doing from Polaris. We've already seen it tonight. We've had, 4 or 5 people who have come from the PSG circuit and come onto the main card. So this is one of the best ways to get on Polaris's radar and get onto the big show.
I was going to say it's nice to see it spread around Europe as well. Getting outside the UK, Barcelona, the Netherlands, for example, there's a lot of competitors there that are very high level, but you mightn't get exposed to them as much as you would some of the UK competitors.
Yeah, I think the cool thing as well from this is that you can do your own division. So like, let's say you're a blue belt and you just want to test yourself out in the qualifying competitions, you can jump into those too. That's a very, very competitors as well.
Yeah, and if you're not inclined to put yourself on the line like that, hey, you get to compete in your own division, all ages, all abilities, and then you get to watch some of the elite competitors who you will absolutely be seeing on the main cards later on. So do go ahead, check out our Polaris PSG and Polaris Opens. You can scan the QR code on your screen now, or head over to Smooth Comp, or follow any of our Polaris social media channels for entry information. 2 events coming up next month in August: Barcelona, August 29th, and London, August 30th. Right. We have one more bout coming your way. Let's go ahead and meet our final 2 competitors on our Polaris prelims.
Let's welcome, fighting in the blue corner, Yakira Perez Crespo.
So time for main event of our undercard here, live and free on YouTube. Yakira Crespo makes her way here. She is from Alicante in Spain. She's been training for 7 years. Has won medals at IBJJF Nogi Euros as a brown belt, and ADCC Spain as well. Her first time here on Polaris though.
And now let's welcome, fighting in the red corner, Emily Leiva.
Emily Leiva makes her way to the mat. She had a fight here at one of our previous events in March against Martina Zola, and she got the win there. She does represent Atos HQ in San Diego. Full-time jiu-jitsu athlete, training for 14 years. Just 19 years old, but she won Worlds, I believe, this year as well, and she's also won Nogi Worlds and Nogi Pans. So incredibly accomplished so far.
Yeah, let's see if she can impose her game. We saw in the match before this big experience gap as well, but it didn't really show in terms of what happened on the mat. So let's see what happens now.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. She stands 5 feet 1 inches tall, official weight 54.2 kilos. Representing Ailis Jiu-Jitsu Academy and Focus Jiu-Jitsu from Spain. Introducing Yakira Perez Crespo. And now let's welcome her opponent, fighting out of the red corner. She stands 5 feet 1 inches tall, official weight 54.9 kilos. Representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu from the United States, introducing Emily Leiva.
So first 5 minutes on the clock. Last bout before we head over in about an hour's time to FloGrappling for our Polaris 38 welterweight Grand Prix and the $30,000 prize. Good work quickly from Crespo.
Yeah, she's in a deep knee slide here. Forced Emily to turtle, and was Emily recovered, she dropped into the knee slide position.
Really nice posture on the passing as well. Staying really low, lots of good intent. And she's getting straight into her moves from here.
Yeah, we saw in our last match, Martina had... Oh, this is a tight knee bar. Ooh.
Outside heel hook.
Nice defense, though, from Akira.
Yeah, staying very, very composed in defense. The knee bar certainly was extremely deep. Now she's going straight footlock.
Elbow to elbow grip here. This is tight.
Oh, she doesn't want to tap, and she... I wasn't sure.
Bit of a Brazilian tap there.
I thought it was, yeah.
That elbow to elbow Aoki lock is very powerful. You use like your body to do the finish instead of your arms.
Looks like she's again in towards the knee slide.
Yeah, she's got good upper body control here.
Yeah, she's nice and low down on the hips. Her hips aren't too high, so it's going to be hard to off-balance her. Emily's shown a very dexterous guard, though, whenever we've seen her compete.
Yeah.
Very, very flexible, good at getting her legs back into positions. Looks like Akira's trying to step over this knee.
Just difficult when you have that kind of flexibility in the guard. It's easy to just slip in a hook and get straight on the counter, as we have here.
Yeah, I think she kind of almost went to the false read position, then used that to go behind and set up this toe hold.
Oh, and that's really nice.
Going back to the knee bar.
The legs into the knee bar, and that is the finish for Emily Leyva.
Great finish.
Good submission in the first round. Big hug from Sarah Galvao.
Much better control on the foot for the second knee bar. On the first one, the foot was free. She was able to spin and just create a little bit of space. Foot was stuck on the second one, so she has no way to turn out of the knee bar.
Let's go ahead and look at some of the replays. The sequence was lovely.
Yeah, in the second knee bar, she used a toe hold, and then using that toe hold, she allowed her to create the correct angle for the knee bar. It's one of like the most classical leg lock combinations in jiu-jitsu. You see it here, she goes to the toe hold.
This big back heel.
Yeah, there's the defense for the toe hold is to kind of extend through, and then that allows her to create the angle for the knee bar.
Nice finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out due to a knee bar submission, Emily Leyva.
Emily Leyva gets the victory here. Fun match, quick match, but fun match. I mean, credit to Crespo. She came out and really tried to take it to her.
Man, she got some really nice passing positions. Emily was able to execute her game, and as we were talking about, she's got those very dexterous legs and able to get them in.
Yeah, very technical match, and both girls going for the win, which is always nice to see. Straight out, no messing, and a nice submission to finish off.
Yeah, really, really good job by Emily.
Josh is doing it.
I'm here with our winner, Emily Leyva. Emily, how do you feel about that one? That was a lovely sequence to get the knee bar at the end.
Yeah, I feel really good. I've been working on a lot of leg lock transitions and things like that back home at Atos in San Diego, so I'm really happy that all the hard work that we put in during the gym was able to replicate during the match. And yeah.
Did you know what to expect coming into this one against an opponent you may not have known as much about?
Yeah, I couldn't really find too much about her. I tried to study, but there wasn't many matches, so I just went in there going to play my game, and I'm not worrying about what she was going to do, just focusing on what I wanted to do.
How has the experience been for you here at Polaris? You've been here a couple of times now, and we always love having you.
Yeah, I love Polaris. They really spoil us athletes. And this is my second time here. I competed in March where I got the decision win, so I'm happy I was able to come back and finally get a submission win like how I wanted.
It was a great performance. I'm sure, more than sure, we'll be having you back once more. Let me ask you one last question. I'll let you go celebrate. Your corner, your teammate, Sarah Galvao, is up later for the bantamweight belt. Give us your prediction.
Oh, I think she's going to get it. I think whoever stands in her way, she's gonna go right through, and I think she trains hard, like super hard, probably the hardest worker at Atos, so I think she's gonna come home with the belt.
Well, I'm sure we'll see you mat side with her a little bit later. I'll let you go celebrate for now. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Emily Lever. Well, thank you for joining us here on our live stream, free on YouTube, for our Polaris 38 prelims. Of course, we are jumping over in about 45 minutes, or about an hour, should I say. 6:30 p.m. local time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, to FloGrappling exclusively for our Polaris 38 welterweight Grand Prix. $30,000 is on the line, and it's going to be one of these 8 welterweights that takes it away, opening up the bracket.